Episode 9. Thank you all for listening to Episode 8, Bojango Unchained. I am Gary, here with my co-host,
Bear.
And
Brandon.
Thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Check him out at Wes Anderson Music on Facebook and give him a follow on Twitter at Wes_Infinite. Thank you to All Wear Clothing, the official merchandise provider for Over the Line Sports Podcast. If you're interested in doing business with them, mention Over the Line Sports Podcast, and the owner, Brandon, not the one here, will give you a great deal on your clothing needs. Also, thank you to our other sponsor, Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. Check him out on Facebook at Crandall's Quality Lawn Care. You can also reach him at 419-704-5471. They serve the Toledo and surrounding area. So all you other states, sorry, he will not be able to serve you. And don't forget, it is fall season. Get that leaf pickup.
Don't forget, and countries.
And other countries. We got Ireland, UK, Sweden. And don't forget to mention Over the Line Sports Podcast, and Sean will give you a discount on services. So, this is the first time we're going to be doing 2 episodes a week. We got episode 9 tonight. Episode 10 will drop on Saturday. So looking forward to this with you guys. How was your guys' weekend? First weekend for NFL football.
Oh, man. How exciting is that? Football's back in full swing, college and NFL. I was in Cleveland this weekend, actually, celebrating a birthday. So that was really fun. Had a good time all weekend. Got to go to the Browns tailgate at least. Didn't go to the game on Sunday, and that was a pretty good time. Always nothing better than drinking at 9:30 in the morning with a whole bunch of rowdy fans. On the way in, I didn't get harassed too much. I was wearing my Zeke jersey, and a few Browns fans every now and then are, why are you wearing the Dallas jersey here? I was like, guys, it's my game day too. It's everyone's game day. And they're like, okay, we understand.
Wait, so when I wear like a Notre Dame jersey to like the UT Missouri game or like the Michigan Ohio State game, is that not okay then?
Because it's Notre Dame.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think I ever came up to you and said, are you at a Notre Dame game? Because
maybe not you technically, but yeah, many people.
But my point is that we're technically not at the Ohio State Michigan game. We're sitting in someone's house. So what's your point?
I totally agree with that. Did any Steelers fans give you any crap?
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is a PG-13 podcast, so I can't get into some of the details, but there were quite a few arguments, even with Browns fans too. And I guess that's how I'm going to start off a little bit today is I got some, as people, it's funny, when you're wearing a different jersey, not a Steelers or Browns jersey, obviously all the Browns fans are just ripping Steelers fans, vice versa. With getting the Dallas thing, it's, go back to Dallas, Cowboys suck, blah, blah, same stuff, whatever. I ignore most of it. But I got yelled at as we were walking to the stadium, and then everyone goes straight to the stadium. We take a hard left back up to go to the car. Gary, you came to the Cowboys-Browns game with me a couple years ago. You know how that is. You walk back up, across the bridge, all that, if you're going back. And some dude across the way, police barricades, they close the roads off so everyone can walk down the roads very easily. And this guy in a Myles Garrett jersey from across the way, go back to Dallas, they suck, blah, blah, and a couple other things I couldn't say. And obviously, I'm not going to say exactly what I said back, but I did yell back across the street. Cop standing there and all, just grinning and laughing, nothing to do. It's funny. But then as you walk past people, they don't say anything, The only time that anyone was ever in close quarters that they wanted to talk a little bit of smack, the Steelers fan was behind me. And he was wearing all coveralls, bright, like a construction worker, bright coveralls. And he was, you're at the wrong place, blah, blah, go home and all this. And I turned around, and we had a good back and forth going, throwing down explicitives, this and that. And he goes, well, Dallas is going 0-16. And that was the breaking point right there, when I just straight went off on him, telling him, you're wearing coveralls, what are you, scared of the rain, blah, blah, this and that. You must be a Steelers fan. And of course he pulls his little jacket away and has his little Steelers emblem right there. And I was like, that's what I figured. I said, if you want to do anything about it, I said, we can meet up right here on the corner. And I was with everyone. We were walking up, and I knew nothing was going to happen. And of course, nothing did. He kept walking like the typical Steelers chicken shit fans that they are. They keep moving. They just keep talking smack, or they want to bring up how they have 6 Super Bowls from 27,000 years ago that no one cares about. And Dallas fans do that too. Don't get me wrong. I've been drinking, and I've done that too a few times. But
I haven't talked about a Super Bowl since we haven't won one since 95. Sorry, I said we. Dallas has not won one since 1995.
I don't care. I'm saying we from now on. I don't care about Bears.
Well, speaking of since we, how did your team do? The Lions. They looked pretty great this weekend.
And I kind of want to go back. I was talking about the time when we went to the Ohio State-Michigan tailgate. So I know how you feel. Getting the looks and everything.
Oh, yeah, from other people. I'm probably said something then, too.
I know how you feel. Man, who do I want to talk about first? The Browns
Well, we can,
or the Lions?
No, go on the Lions
Yes, please.
because the Browns we can have a good discussion about. The Lions, there's no discussion. They're trash.
There is absolutely no discussion. That game was absolutely
atrocious.
atrocious. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get home until halftime, so a little before halftime. But I was listening on my way home, like 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
What were you doing?
I had class. So
What kind of class? Like a yoga class, a spin class, a baking class?
Sex ed.
I figured so.
no school class.
Well, that's
so,
all school, buddy.
No.
What?
So I was listening to it, and of course, a guy next to me in class had his laptop open, and he had the game going on, the ESPN app, and so I saw the pick six, the first play that Sam Darnold threw, and the first pass that he threw, and I was happy. I was like 7-0. This is how you start the season right here. You pick them off, pick six. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be a good game, and the connection was lost or something, so I didn't get hear or get to watch any of it until I got home and was on the way home. So, of course, when I got home, it was what went down. I think they got a field goal the last possession right before halftime. So it was like
10.
Yeah, 17-10.
And they didn't. They missed a field goal. Prater missed 2 field goals, I think, in that time.
No, he got a field goal going into halftime because I was listening to the game. So they got the field goal. Yeah,
I was watching it. I guess my eyes deceived me.
No, they got the field goal because Lomas Brown, the Lions announcer, was talking about how they needed to get points. They got a field goal, but they should have got a touchdown.
Did you say Lois?
No, Lomas.
Oh, Lomas.
By the way, what was it? The radio Lions?
Yeah, of course it was.
Okay, first of all,
Dan Miller, and it was Jim Brandstetter, but the Lions decided to get rid of him and put in Lomas Brown. So.
Oh, did they? Well, whoever it's been for the last how many ever years. Anytime I'd ever listen to them, always my favorite.
He's the Michigan announcer too.
I'm not a Lions fan, but those two going back and forth, I've listened to a lot of games on the radio. They're hilarious.
I was pissed when they got rid of Jim Brandstetter because I hate when he does Michigan games, of course, but when he does Lions games, I love it.
I'm going to take you a little bit off topic though. What about the two stupid Tigers broadcasters that got into a fight?
We should have brought that up last week. I didn't even know.
It didn't happen until like Thursday or Friday.
I thought it happened like Tuesday or something.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But they got suspended over the weekend, I think. But it was funny.
Rod Allen put Mario and Pemba put Rod Allen. I don't know. I know you guys don't know who those are.
No, I know exactly who they are.
Put them in a headlock. Trying to choke them out.
Yeah, are you serious?
Apparently
in the middle of a game?
No, this was after the game.
Did they ever say why?
No, I don't know why. They've been together 17 years. They butted heads throughout the whole entire time. And I guess something happened, and they just went at each other.
If they're with each other that long, I mean, all of us, we're with each other one night a week, and sometimes we want to just choke each other. So I understand.
Yeah, it happens, but yeah, I thought it was funny because I mean, even though we're not professionals, they are, and it's funny to hear that because you never hear that from you never hear two. Like, could you imagine if Troy Aikman and Joe Buck got into a fight? How great would that be? Troy Aikman would pull his hair plugs out, Buck would hit him once, and Troy would be concussed for another 3 years. I mean, it would be pure comedy if that happened. Maybe that should be a question next week. Best broadcaster fights.
Potential, or that would be a great one. But it was crazy. They brought in Matt Shepard and Kurt Gibson right after that all happened, and I guess they suspended him the rest of the year.
Is Shepard related to Bob? From the Yankees?
No.
Oh, well,
no.
Figured I'd ask.
All right, so what were we talking about? The Lions?
Well, we were talking about Lions and Browns, but
Yeah.
before we get into football, because we could talk about that all day. Let's cover golf real quick, and we'll get into football because
Okay.
Well, let Brandon. We'll finish up that.
The Lions?
Let him finish up the Lions because
we're at about halftime.
Halftime at 17-10. Stafford goes down after halftime, leads a touchdown driving score, 17-17.
Yeah,
and
17,
everyone's excited again. Okay, it's a game.
I think here we go. We got a game going into going halfway into the third quarter, and it just absolutely fell apart. I think it was a pick six, another pick. I stood at the TV and I said, "Throw another one, you jackass!" And he threw it. and he literally, I swear to the Lord above me, right after I said that, he threw a freaking another pick. And
so were you sitting there like, "Hey, squat down again, you little bitch"?
No, I was just, I told my wife, let's just go to bed because I'm turning off this game. There was like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was 48-17. So I was like 17-17, and all of a sudden I blinked twice and it's 48-17.
I mean, they were so bad they got pushed to ESPN2 with 6
terrible.
minutes left in the game.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What they put on the dodgeball tournament?
No, they put the Rams and Raiders on. But,
Oh yeah, that was on too. I forgot.
But yeah, if that's a game, that game ain't going. ESPN2 will pick up the Raiders game, but that game was atrocious. Hopefully, they're not going to beat. They're not going to beat the 49ers. They're not going to beat the Cowboys, and they're not going to beat the Patriots. They're going to start off 0-4, 0-5.
Remember when you said they're going to be 3-1? I'm pretty sure
I said they were going to. I said
No,
they
you
were going
said
to beat
2-2.
the Jets. I
Yeah.
said they were going to beat San Francisco, then lose to New England, lose to the Cowboys, and then lose to whoever. I think Seattle. So they would start off 2-3.
Seattle, something like that. No, yeah.
So yeah, they're going to start off 0-5.
I wouldn't get too crazy on them beating Dallas yet. I can already foresee a 6-3 game right there of just boringness. But we'll get there. We'll get there later.
I'll get into Dallas when we make our picks on that. So
Well, let's like we said, let's save some football discussion because I mean this is always going to be probably our most prominent talking is the NFL. We all love the NFL. We like college too, but the NFL is really you don't know what's going to happen. College you can kind of foresee. But NFL, you can't. So before we get into that, Bear, can you just kind of recap real quick the BMW?
Who ended up winning the BMW? Is that Keegan Bradley?
Yes,
it was.
Bradley won in a playoff against our pick, Justin Rose.
Yeah, I know Justin Rose. They went to a playoff, and I thought I saw Bradley win. It was really weird because obviously all the rain over the weekend, they pushed it back from Sunday to Monday, so I didn't get to see that. And then I've been out of town the last 2 days. Just got back in today. So this podcast is going to be rough for me as I've done about zero research. So I'm going all off the head right here. Haven't looked up any FedEx Cup standings, anything like that. I know that Tiger was going to be in top 20. He's not going to have a chance to win the FedEx Cup. So my pick is officially done.
Well, he can still win, but he's got there's all these different scenarios.
He's within 2,000 points.
Anybody can. There's all these scenarios. Like because I was so confused, and I was going to ask you how it works because it doesn't matter. The top 5, anybody in the top 5 currently, if they win, they're walking with the cup.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's 2,000 points that you get for winning. There'll be no cut again. Even though we already have our own picks. I picked Tiger. Brandon picks Brooks Koepka. And Gary, you got Dustin Johnson,
right.
Who may or may not have broken up with Paulina.
Yeah,
Not sure yet. I saw that all the
I saw
Instagram pictures were deleted of them together.
I forgot they were dating.
They've been together for a while, and apparently he had something going on with one of those fanatics that plays golf.
Yeah, right. Probably that Paige. I can't think of her last name right now, but yeah, she's an Instagram model who plays golf, and she's smoking hot.
Here's what I got for you. Since Tiger can still mathematically win, so this is what has to happen. He has to win the Tour Championship this week. The number 1, which right now is Bryson, right, DeChambeau, he has to finish tied for 15th or worse.
Okay.
Number 2 has to finish in a three-way for 5th or worst. Number 3 has to finish tied for 3rd or worse. 4 has to finish in a 3-way tie for 2nd or worse. 5th has to finish in a 3-way tie for 2nd or worse. 6 has to finish 2nd or worse. And so,
I mean, really, I figured the odds would be worse. That isn't that bad.
That's not
I would
that
have
bad.
figured Bryson would have had to be like 25th, like 25th to 30. I mean, like you said, once again, there's still 30 golfers, and right now, obviously with the FedEx Cup, it's 30 of the best golfers in the world going at it. But Tiger's been playing really well. He had a great tournament this weekend. What did he finish? Tied for 4th?
yeah, he was 4th, I believe, tied for 4th. You're right.
A great week. Had a great Monday, not Sunday, but it would have been a Sunday, and a great Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday shot 62.
Yeah.
Friday
he
was
was
his bad
because he
day.
started off like 6-7 under in the first 9
and
holes.
Rory, I think, shot a 62.
Yeah,
they
they
were
both
both-
shot 62. And Tiger then shot even par on Friday, which didn't help his case. All he had to do was shoot, 2 under,
And he would
whatever,
have been fine.
and shot 66 on Saturday, and I think 64 or something like that on Monday.
Here's a fun stat for you. I didn't know if either one of you knew this. Tony Finau has not won a tournament this year. If he can still win the FedEx Cup without winning a tournament this entire year, he still has a mathematical possibility.
And I just saw he was the last pick for the Ryder Cup as well,
Yes, he
which is
was.
good. And that's a great pick. I think Furyk has put together a great team, and they're going to be in Europe this year. And I think that they should beat the living hell out of Europe. I'm very excited for the Ryder Cup. I think that the Europeans normally, obviously, it's USA against the world. It's not Europeans, so I hate saying Europeans. But they normally have a stacked squad. I mean, you have one country versus the 118 other countries we have in the world. So you get all the best golfers from no matter where. and all we have are the Americans, which obviously is a very good breed of golfer. And I think that this year, though, just with the team that they have, Bryson being on fire, Tiger's back, Phil is Phil. He can come around and he plays well. And then you got Finau, and you got your DJ, and obviously the guys that are up there, Ricky, Jordan, all these guys. They have great camaraderie. They're pretty much a young team outside of Tiger and Phil, to be honest with you. So it's going to be pretty crazy. And Thomas Peters has been talking some smack about Americans in general, how they can't drink and how they're not as good as golf and they don't respect the game like that. So that's going to bring even more fire to the table. And I really do think that the Americans are going to beat the hell out of the world this year in the Ryder Cup. And I'm excited to watch that, especially being overseas. It's going to be fun.
I totally agree. So, let's not waste any more time. We know what has to happen, the different possibilities. If we want to talk about our picks, Brandon?
Well, yeah, just before that, I know you guys, well, I know everybody knows that I don't play DraftKings, and I know you guys weren't going to give your lineups, but just some people to look out for. I look at CBS Sports, a lot before these tournaments. A couple guys, that I see right now. I don't know, Patrick Reed, he's a 40-1. Patrick Cantley, 30-1. My sneaky pick, I don't know if he is actually a sneaky pick, but Xander, I'm not even going to attempt his last name. Shoe-Flay, Shuffle, whatever.
Just say Shoe-Flay.
Shoe-Flay, there you go. Shoe-Flay.
You're like Shoe-Fly away.
Yeah, Shoe-Flay.
Shoe-Fly, shoe.
So, I mean, I don't know, I don't know how much those guys are worth or whatnot, but look out for them. But my pick, Justin Rose.
All right. Bear?
I think I went Tiger, Rose, and Stenson were my 3 picks. So I'm going to just pick the guy who I haven't picked, even though if he's broken up with Paulina or not, I'm taking DJ.
Well, and like you said, and I told you 4 weeks ago that I would not take DJ at all, and you said, well, if he has a chance to win the Tour Championship, to win the Cup, you're going to have to take him. So taking DJ because I want to win. I picked DJ to win the thing. If he wins a Cup. He wins $10 million. Give me DJ as well.
He wins as many other women as he wants if he's broken up with Paulina too, which I kind of don't like because I think they're a solid power couple. Could you imagine those babies? Wayne Gretzky's offspring with Dustin Johnson. Oh man, those things. It doesn't matter what sport they play, they dominate, guaranteed.
That would be interesting. I wonder because you think about it, swinging a golf club, swinging a hockey stick, and you got both of that DNA in there. Gonna be crazy. So,
a quick question: Is this this is the last tournament before whoever wins?
This is it.
Not whoever wins. It still goes off the FedEx Cup standings, but whoever wins pretty much has a really good shot, especially if they're in the top 6.
If they're the top 5. If they're top 5, if DeChambeau wins, he wins the FedEx Cup. If Rose wins, Finau wins, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, they all get it. So Keegan Bradley, who just won this past week, he's 6th. If he wins the Tour Championship this weekend, he can win it, and then number 1, which would be Bryson DeChambeau, has to finish tied for 2nd or worse. So he has a pretty good shot of winning it too.
What does Kopika look like?
Cupcake?
He's got to be top 10 still.
Yeah, he's 7. So if he wins it and Bryson finishes in a three-way tie for 2nd or worse, and then number 2 finishes tied for 2nd or worse, and he can also finish 2nd and still have a mathematical chance of winning. Same as Keegan Bradley. So it's all going to depend. If one of these top 5, 6 guys wins, more than likely they're going to win it.
So technically, we all kind of still have a chance.
We all have
technically, yes.
Because you had Koepka, so I have the best.
Gary has the best chance for sure.
You, and then Tiger. He still has a chance. It's very slim, but he could still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then they have a break, and then it's the Ryder Cup, which we'll talk about here in a couple weeks. Also a great tournament to watch, so that'll be fun coming up. So we got about 2 more weeks of golf left, which is, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, is about perfect with that coming down, and then basketball and hockey's coming up right in that time, so we'll be able to fill our slot there. But it's a little bit sad to see the golf season end, but it's always nice to get a little bit of break and pick that back up right at about when the Super Bowl's over in February and March. Get a good tournament in.
Brandon, we'll jump right into NASCAR. You want to give us a recap of Brickyard and a little preview of Las Vegas this week? Start of the playoffs.
Yeah, this was a race I didn't really think that they were going to actually get in because Sunday was terrible. Locally, we even saw it around here. But they did get it in Monday. So Monday you had the Brickyard 400. You had golf going on. So a lot of things because of the weather. But Brad Keselowski ended up going back to back. He won at Darlington, and he won on Monday. Didn't lead that many laps, but again, didn't lead that many laps, but he was able to get the win. So he got 2 wins entering the playoffs, and so
What are you laughing at?
Yeah, no, it's all good. So you're right. He got 2 wins going into the playoffs. The standings are set. Kyle Busch won the regular season championship. So he is 50 playoff points is what he got. Harvick got the same, so they're tied for first currently in the NASCAR standings. Alex Bowman snuck in at 16, so he's in. Ryan Newman's out, unfortunately. He's a good driver, but it's okay. Jimmy got in at 15.
yeah, and that with Bowman, that was close because Jamie McMurray, he was up there, and if he would have won, I mean, that
He
would
would've
have
got in and
knocked
knocked
out
Bowman out.
Bowman. So,
Well, if anyone would have won, it would have knocked out.
well,
Bowman,
technically,
right?
yeah. Well, not anybody. Anybody
let's-
that did not have.
Well,
a
yeah,
win.
did not have. So
Anybody
so-
that was behind 16.
So since it was
Yeah.
an odd race and something got jumbled up, what crazy would have happened if like Cole Witt won the race just out of crazy?
He
I mean,
would
he
have
got-
had to.
yeah.
Well, there's many scenarios. He would have had to been top 30 in points to get in. You have
Yeah.
to be top 30 to start. Even if he would have won the race and was 32nd in points, he doesn't make the
Really?
playoffs.
Okay.
Like-
I thought a win no matter what
Well,
put you
no,
in.
no, because what happened a few years ago, if you remember, Kyle Busch missed 11 races. He kept winning all those races.
Yeah.
He still had to climb to get. What did he end up finishing? Like 20.
Well, they gave him an exception. They gave
Well,
him like
yeah,
a
because he would have, because he
whatchamacallit.
dominated, and he still would have
Yeah.
made it mathematically into the top 30. I think he would have been like right at 30th, so he got in and ended up winning the championship.
Yeah, but I mean, to go along with what you were saying, like Matt Kenseth, they were talking about this. If he would have won, he would have got the win, but he would not have made it into the playoffs because he was not a full-time driver and
Yeah, I was about
top
to
30
say
in
because
points.
he came in. I understand
So-
that he came in halfway through the year. And the news I did see, what Casey Kane's out for the next 3 races because of dehydration or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's done. I think he's retiring after
Yeah,
this
he was
year,
retiring
he's
anyway,
done.
so I
Yep.
figure he's just done racing regardless.
Yeah.
What it sounds like.
So, but yeah, it was a good race. I watched it on a Monday when it was going on. I know me and you, Gary, were texting back and forth. Barry was off busy doing something. I have no idea. Yeah,
I know we were talking about that. There was nobody there.
there's nobody in the backstretch, but
And it was fair too, but it was a Monday race, so you know no one was going to be there
Yeah,
regardless. But I think we did talk about last week that nobody was going to be there, so pushing it to Monday definitely didn't help.
yeah, that definitely didn't. Yeah, but tickets were still sold, so they got their money. But what was I going to say? But the Kyle Busch. I know that you kind of got a little frustrated on that. I know he was your pick. I think
Oh, the
Bear.
whole, yeah, he was. He
Yeah,
was both our
so
picks.
I know you kind of got pissed off at that, but I mean that's more.
I mean,
like,
that's the rule. The rule's the rule.
Hold on, wait, because people who are going to be listening don't know what happened. So explain what happened, and then we can discuss. the
Okay,
rule.
that is very true. Good job, Bear. So there was 2 laps left. And usually what teams
in the stage.
Yeah, in the stage.
Not the
stage
race.
2.
Yeah,
Stage
stage
2.
two.
And what teams usually do to get an advantage is that they'll pit right before those two laps where the pit road is closed, 2 laps and under, to get that advantage so they don't have to pit during the caution. So what teams will usually do is, when when there's 2 laps to go or 3 laps to go, right before they go, right before the driver who's in first place goes over the start line, the finish line, they'll try to pit. And once that driver once that driver goes over, once the car that's in the first place goes over the finish line, pit road is closed with 2 laps left. So, and once you're committed, once you cross, there's a line there. Going into pit.
He was literally a split second. From
Yeah,
the
he was a
commit
split
line.
second. I mean, that's
That's the rule.
And-
I was frustrated because I'm like, at the time I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a dumb rule, but it's been the rule forever.
Yeah.
And he tried to get there and he just missed it by a split second.
Yeah,
Second he
and-
was there. It's okay.
And I think you even said if he would have got that before, he would have been right up there to win. So
Oh, yeah, he would have
was.
been.
He was. I think he finished 6th.
6th or 8th or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, no, it was a good race. Like you said, there was nobody there, but I didn't even think they were going to race. It looked like it was about to rain, throughout the whole freaking thing. But
and that's okay.
But yeah, the race got in. It was a good one. Brad Keselowski won. He got 2 wins. Definitely solidified his spot there. He would have got in even if he didn't win last week or this past Monday. But yeah, we're going into Vegas first first race of the playoffs. So the standings are set. The 16 drivers are in. As you said, Kyle Busch won the regular season
Yes.
season. Kevin Harvick, I believe, has the first is number one.
They're tied. They
Or
both
they're
have 50
tied?
points
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, they both
So-
have 50 points based on stage wins. Kyle having the regular season and wins, of course.
And I always thought that they raced twice here, but apparently they do not. This is the first fall race
In Vegas,
In
yeah.
Vegas. So
It's the first time
Kevin
it's been
Harvick,
part of the playoff.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick won in the spring in March. Of course, the big three will be up there. But I'm just going to jump right into my pick. It's the Southern Point 400. Southern Point, I don't know what that is. Some kind of company or whatever. But
Usually when they sponsor something, it is a company.
And
well, that's what I'm saying.
and-
It's something. I don't know what they do.
and remember, you don't get to pick this person for the next 10 races.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
you get to pick them
This,
one time.
this is it. You get one
Yeah.
guy.
And so
This is fine.
Bear is going to track this for us.
So that's totally fine. Yeah, and you will know.
And who do
who
you
my
got?
pick is. So, do you want me to give a little preview of this, or
Yeah,
just give me my
go
pick?
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Give a
Okay,
preview,
so
man. This is our podcast. We can do whatever the hell we want.
one guy that's in here, Jimmy Johnson, 4-time winner, struggled all season. He's a 4-time winner here. Matt Kenseth, again, I don't even know if he's racing. If he is, 3-time winner. Kevin Harvick and Brett Keselowski, 2-time winners here. Kyle Busch, I think he's won once here.
And that's a home track for him, by the way.
Yep, and that's who I'm not going with, but I'm going with the other one. Kurt Busch is my pick. He has not won here, surprisingly.
It's a solid pick.
But it's home track for the Busch brothers, so hopefully, I don't know, hopefully my pick wins, but go on.
Well, I like your pick. I thought about him, but I did not go with him.
If we want to go away from the standings and just go on a good run, look for Paul Menard.
That's a good one too.
Good DraftKings pick then. Good sleeper. He'll be low.
Yeah,
he'll
sleeper.
be
Yeah.
He'll be cheap.
Yeah, he's cheap. So
Yeah.
Paul Menard, you're saying you're sleeper on DraftKings
Sleeper.
because I didn't do any research. So Brandon's giving the DraftKings pick this week. So if you do bad in DraftKings this week, blame it on Brandon.
Go ahead,
Yep.
yep, just blame
And-
me.
and
And
dra-
where can they blame me at?
They can blame you on Twitter at OTL Sports Pod, or they can blame you on Facebook at Over the Line Sports Podcast. But you know what, Brandon? When
you go.
you've given your picks before, you're pretty darn good. So you know what? I'm going to start my DraftKings lineup which I don't even have in right now. It's going to go Kurt Busch. It's going to go Paul Menard. Those are going to be the first two guys I start with. I'll build around it.
I like it. And,
I'm trusting you this week. I'm putting trust in you.
You know, we'll see. Maybe we can build a lineup based on all our picks because they might be different.
Yeah,
we'll see.
we can do that.
Speaking of DraftKings, I happened to win our pool this week by a half a point.
Yes.
Now, a half a point, what do you get? A quarter of a point for a fast lap?
Yeah.
And so I got 2 fast laps as what I beat him by, or 1 position. Because if he had somebody in his lineup finish 1 spot ahead of one of my guys, he would have beat me. And it worked out. I was happy to see. It was low scoring this week. 210.5 won our pool this week.
Yeah, Bricky. I mean, those tracks that are longer and don't have a lot of laps. Obviously, you're going to have lower scores. The tracks like Bristol, Martinsville, you're going to have higher because if you have guys dominate, you're going to have guys. Was that a Miller Lite or a Busch Light?
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know if that was you or Stat Guy. I couldn't
Oh,
see
it was me.
I couldn't see through the fog of smoke in the garage.
I don't know.
Okay, just making sure.
It's good though.
It's good stuff.
Well, it always goes down smooth. So, oh wait, that was Keystone. That was close. So,
How does Burger Light go down before you go?
Burger Light actually is not that bad. It reminds you of an actual burger. Like, it tastes greasy. And you can ask Kenny about this. Like, we have the same opinion. It's odd. It tastes greasy.
remember
So-
that.
but
I
it's not
forgot.
bad.
So does it go down like a burger is what you're saying?
Yeah, but, not as rough if you just tried to swallow a burger whole.
Those are
Something
like that. That's like some old college football. Watching.
Yeah, remember when we used to be poor and we'd only get Keystone and like Burger Light?
Yeah.
Because Burger Light's like $7.99 for a 24-pack.
Isn't that Walmart's like
I
brand of
I
beer?
have no idea.
No,
Who brought it
It's
first?
just like
Wasn't it-
odd. Yeah, it's just
wasn't
like
it
an odd
Kyle or
Kroger
something?
thing. It probably was
Yeah.
Eckel. Who knows?
I showed up one time and I'm like, what the hell is Burger Light
but
beer?
you drank it, right?
It was rough. It was rough.
But you drank it, right?
I drank it, yeah.
No,
You did
that's
drink
right.
it.
Any like I always say, free beer is good beer, no matter what.
That's
It
right.
doesn't matter what it is. I don't care. I'm not a picky person when it comes to beer.
So Bear, go ahead with your pick.
So, anyways, back to NASCAR. Having 10 races in the playoffs, it's rough, and I don't want to make this pick already, but I'm going to try to start my playoff run out strong. Give me Kyle Busch this week. The last 2 times I've picked him, he's not done the best. I know he got a little bit screwed over this week at the Brickyard, not really, like we just discussed. it was more of a spotter, crew chief sort of thing, their issue. It wasn't a Kyle Busch issue. I think that, the hometown track, he's finished well here. I know he's only won once, but it seems like he's always top 5 at this track.
He finished second in the spring race.
Yeah, he's always good at this track. I'm looking at my NASCAR right now, and I'm down 5 spots on Gary without this last week's in there, but we picked the same person, so it's not changing. Brandon's catching up very fast. So I'm going to start off with Kyle Busch. I know that I'm losing him for the rest of the playoffs, but I think he wins this week and starts off the playoffs strong.
And for my pick, there's a few things here. So my pick, the last 3 races at this track, has finished 6th, 5th, and 1st. And he's won here 2 times, and he won the last 2 races at Brickyard and Darlington. So I'm going to keep the hot hand. Give me Brad Keselowski this week.
And I don't know this. This is probably a question for Stat Guy, but when was the last time someone won 3 races in a row?
Kyle Busch, I believe. Was it
At the same track, or... Oh, it was earlier this year. First it went Kevin Harvick, and then it went Kyle Busch.
They both won 3 races in a row this year?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. I figured that I mean, I guess I could see because there's only 3 really good guys, but I just figured it went, a couple races in a row and then another. But I didn't know that. I really didn't.
It went Kevin Harvick the first 3, and then I think Joey Logano won, and then Kyle Busch won the next 3.
So I have something else for you guys before we switch on to college football. I have fun facts about the championship. If the playoff or chase, now it's called the playoff, it used to be the chase, never happened. Brandon, you're going to appreciate this. So in 2004...
I already know where you're going in this.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
How many titles would Jeff Gordon have?
Gordon would have probably had, I think, 6 or 5. He definitely would have had one in 2004 in the first one.
Yep.
And then I think he would have had one again, I want to say 2005 or 7.
He would have had 2004. He would have also had 2014, which would have given him his 7th title.
Yeah. No,
So-
that would have given him his 6th.
Well,
He's only won 4.
2004. I forgot 2007. 2004, he would have won 2004, 2007, 2014.
2007,
so he would have 7 titles. And Jimmy, going through all this, Jimmy Johnson would have 1, 2, 3. He would only have 3 titles right now.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, and I was watching ESPN or something, the stat came across that, if they didn't have these playoffs or whatnot, Jeff Gordon would have won. So that kind of pissed me off, but I mean, it is what it is.
And the in 15 and 16, Harvick would have been champion both times, and then last year, Truex, who won it, would have won the championship as well, and he would have won it handily. And Keselowski actually would have won it in 2012, and 2011 season, Carl Edwards would have taken his 2nd title. He would have 2 titles. He would have won one in 08 and in 2011. So it's pretty interesting to see how this would have all shaken out. Stewart would have won in 2005. So he would have been... He did. And he did win in 2005. So he would have been the first driver in NASCAR history to win in both the old format and the new format. Yeah. Either way. So many times that would happen. I found that as a fun stat that you might like to see. Pretty interesting. I would love to have seen Jeff Gordon, who is one of the best drivers of all time, be up there with the King and the Intimidator. But unfortunately, things take a turn. So... that's okay.
Well, how do you feel about Jimmy Johnson being up there?
He's a good driver. I'm not gonna go away from him. But he would have 3 titles if it was the same format. I would love to see how it would have been if the playoff was intact years ago. How Earnhardt would have done, Richard Petty would have done. It would have been interesting.
Yeah, I've always been a Team Hendrick guy. Of course with Jeff Gordon. But I remember Team Hendrick went 1, 2, 3 in the '97 Daytona 500 with Gordon, Labonte, and Ricky Craven. But yeah, I like Jimmy Johnson. I like when he wins, but I don't want to see him get that 8th. He won't, but I'm glad that he won't because I like to see Richard Petty and Earnhardt at 7.
So
with Jimmy Johnson, I know he has 7, but
right. So with college football picks this last week, Bear destroyed us again. Bear went 9-2 with his college football picks this week.
Yeah, and I went 8-3 last week. I was actually just going over all the picks right now. I should have been 10-1. I didn't realize that, obviously we do our lines earlier in the week. They change every day. I got on Saturday, early in the morning when I bet, I got Oklahoma at 29, I think. Mm-hmm. And I told you guys, I texted you, he said, that was definitely the bad beat of the week. And I see right here that it was 30.5, so not quite a bad beat, but me getting them at 29, that was a bad beat on Bovada. That was a little bit disappointing for me. But yeah, other than that, I'm just looking through everything right now and did pretty damn good. I took you guys on Auburn and Arizona State. Were the two that I got singled. Now, Gary, you did get Ball State. They did cover 34.5
When you
quite
made fun of
easily.
me. Yeah.
I did make fun of you. I really thought Notre
But
Dame.
you still destroyed me. But that pick did pretty well.
And they should have.
Wasn't Brandon at that game?
Yes.
Were you?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that when you sent me 6
Unfortunately,
texts that
and
you were
I-
at the game and
and I-
the field and all the other stupid crap you
Yeah,
sent.
well, deal.
Deal what? Deal cards?
Deal.
Deal what?
Deal with it.
Nah.
No. So, Brandon, we forgot to do our lock of the week last week. B-Dub, you were 7-4 last week, and then I was 6-5. So I'm sitting at 500 right now at 12-12. That would put Brandon at 13-9, right? Or no, that wouldn't be right.
Hold on a second.
I do not have that in
Yeah.
front of me.
Sorry. I'm sitting at 11-11.
Where is that guy when we need him?
Right. I'm sitting at 11-11. Brandon is 13-9, and then Bear, you are sitting at 17-5.
There you go.
Yes, and we talked about this, and I know now that I'm going to say it, and everyone, if you are gambling out there in gambling world, I am on a just absolute tear right now, so I have all the faith in the world. I'm going 3-8 this week, but obviously, I do gamble. I do know what I'm talking about every once in a while. To be honest with you, normally early in the year is harder to pick, so it's kind of worrying me right now that I'm doing so well because you can only get better and you can only learn things as you go. So if this is the case, I mean, keep up. And we were talking about it. You don't need to parlay. You don't need to do any of that. I mean, I'm 17-5. If you put $10 down on each of those games, you're up $120. I mean, and obviously, the lines are going to be different. It's not a straight up bet. You're going to get different odds and ends. But I'm saying if it was just $10 bet straight, I've only lost 5. So out of $170, you've only lost 50, which you really haven't. You're up money right now. So, listen to what we have to say, and you don't have to take it to gospel each week. But we do our research, except for when I said I didn't do mine this week. But we do know what we're talking about. I do. And these guys are going to come and catch me as we go.
I don't do research on this. I just go with what my gut's telling me that day with college.
Because
I don't gamble.
Most of the time I do. Like my research it consists of, who plays who, where is it at, what's the, how is this normally, like New Mexico and Wisconsin. This is the big thing. I got this one. It was 35. New Mexico ended up losing 45-14 in Wisconsin. Wisconsin doesn't run up the score. They never do. They never have. They go up 35-0 in early third quarter. They're pulling all the starters, and other teams are going to score against second, third team guys who are freshmen and whatnot. These are easier for me to pick. Honestly, the lucky one that I got, Arizona State over Michigan State. I said last week that Michigan State was going to win close by 3, which Arizona State covers 6.5. In Arizona State, it's just one of those picks. Michigan State looked bad at home against Utah State, an inferior team. Arizona State's better than Utah State. Michigan State's playing away. Like, all of it added up to, could they have won by 7 and got me that bad beat? Sure, they could have, very easily. But I just didn't see that happening. And that's kind of where I get these from. And that's how I think as you're thinking through gambling and thinking through picking all day. 6.5 for Michigan State against any other team at home is going to be great. Like I said before, you're looking for the unders on that. If it's under a touchdown at that half a point, you want that. Like if Wisconsin was 35.5 or something like that, I may have taken Wisconsin just because of that. But since it was 35, I even think I said I'm probably going to push. If I would have, I didn't listen, but if I went back, I said, watch, this game will probably push. Just things like that. That's how I think and go. So we'll see if I can keep the hot streak going this week and keep it up. We'll see. I know you guys are going to catch me. I'm going to fall back. It's going to be a good contest all year, and I think we're going to keep close. But right now, ride me while I'm on the hot streak because you might be able to make a little bit of money.
You guys might like riding Bear, so just ride him good.
Bareback?
Yes.
Well, to go along with what you were just saying, I think I got my sleeper. I think I got the state right, Pac-12 sleeper team, but I just didn't get the team right. Arizona looked awful.
Yeah,
they got blown out by Houston. Oh my gosh!
What was the score? I didn't see that
It
game.
was like 48-0. It was terrible.
Yeah, they looked atrocious.
I fell asleep during the Arizona State Michigan State game, so I didn't even see the Arizona. I didn't say this about the weekend, but Won some good money at the casino this weekend. Actually, hot friend won a whole bunch of good money at the casino. I won like $50.
There you go.
Well, and Gary knows because we've been at the casino together. So every time I go to any casino, I immediately lose $100, no matter what. Immediately.
Truth.
So I played roulette, immediately lost $100. Get 100 out because that's how I am. I'm just going to keep pulling money until I break even. Go back.
The smart gambling.
Go. Good thing I'm a single man, or you know what I mean. But go back and play blackjack, right? Just start crushing. I mean, I think my first 3 hands were, I think the first 2 were 21, and then I had 20, 20, 20, and only pushed 1 of those. So I won 4 of the first 5 hands and pushed 1, so I got my money back like immediately.
Were you playing $25 a hand?
I was playing 10 a hand.
Okay.
Just to be cautious, and I was putting the $1 or $2 on the whatever, the bonuses and whatnot, and I hit 2 of those, which was nice. So only $1 or $2, you're only winning 5 to 1, so that's an extra $5 every now and then. But then ended up losing a couple. And I told myself, I said, I'm gonna get up to, I'll get up to $200, and I'm just gonna quit. So I get up to $250.
And you kept going.
And I kept going, and I got hot friend like, you just need to stop. You need to stop. Lose 2 hands. Get down to like 225 or 230, something like that. And I was like, okay. I said, this is the last hand. Played it, lost. I think 220 I walked away with there. I was like, okay.
So you were
take
up
it away.
$20 is what you're saying?
I was up 20 there. We went and played slots and ended up winning like 40 or 50 or something.
That's not bad.
I swear, and she nailed this to a T. She goes, I always win here in Cleveland. We were in Cleveland at the Jack. She goes, I always win. She goes, I always pick an end slot. And it's one of those weird, to me, slots are 3, bar, 7. That's slots. You got 3 and you go. Everyone else now is playing these crazy, like, Cleopatra, whatever weird things
with ones.
with 7 lines or whatever.
Where you don't understand how to win.
And she goes, no, not at all. I have no idea how they work. And she goes, okay, I'm gonna go. I play the end and I pick this one. And she's like describing it, and we really couldn't find it. I was like, okay. I said, what about this one? I said, this one's on the end. It looks like something you were describing. She goes, okay. So she sits down, puts in $40, gets maybe 2-3 spins in. Next thing you know, she's got like 75 free spins. The thing just keeps going. The money just keeps going up. There's a whole bunch of lines squiggling. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I need to play this crap more. This is amazing. I don't even know how this works. And she walked away with a good chunk of change. I'm not gonna say how much, but she did walk away with a good amount of money. I think I sent you a snap on that.
You did.
And good for her. And we had a good time obviously there. I think this weekend we might go to Toledo and see if that luck rolls over and keep winning me money. I mean, her money.
Yeah, that'll be good.
See, that's what I do. I just take a 20 in, and I go play the slots. And when I'm out, I'm out.
Well,
but I usually leave, maybe plus $15.
And then go to Taco Bell and spend it all.
That's what happened to me. Like I kind of changed my approach. I used to do what you did, Bear, is I would take money out and take it out to get back to even. So when I was on the road in 2011, I was in Mississippi playing at a casino. And I had 300, and I went and played blackjack. I lost it in 10 minutes. I pulled out another 500, lost that in about a half hour, and then I pulled out 200 more, sat down at blackjack, lost 100, go over, crying and self-pity into a lean cuisine over by the slot machine. So I just put it into a $1 slot machine, playing it, $3 at a time. I get down to $54. I hit the progressive jackpot for $1,500. So I'm like, I'm up 400. I look up to the sky to God. I'm like, I'm leaving. I get you. I understand. So from that day on, it's now been 7 years. When I walk in, whatever I walk in with, I know I'm going to set with, and it's no more usually than 200. I go in with 200. If I lose it, I'm done. That's it.
And I totally agree with you. It sounds like I'm a degenerate gambler, and I am. But no, that's outside. That's Bovada. That's DraftKings. That's that. When I go and I do go to a casino, I do set a limit. At 200, 300, whatever it may be. I won't go. I'll normally bring in 200. If I got to go back to the ATM for 100 one more time, so be it. But I know my limit. I know where I need to stay at. We're not sitting here telling everyone to go gamble and gamble your whole life away. That's not the case. You got to know your limits. Everyone has their limits. Brandon knows his limit. His limit's $20 at the slots, and that's great. Everyone has their limits. People are high rollers. Some people are low rollers. There's nothing wrong with it. So if you go and to base off that to pick off college picks or NFL picks, which we'll get to, which I wouldn't pick off those from us yet.
No.
But for college, if you do that, if you play $1 on a game or you play $10 or $100 on a game, I don't care what it is. Know your limit when you're gambling, because I do. And I haven't been playing my picks. I've been going against me and playing parlays and stuff. And I'm going to start playing my picks and win a little bit of cash if I'm going to stay on a hot streak like this, because you do run on a hot streak. That's just, It's how life works. It's how gambling works. You don't go 12 weeks out of the year and win every single week.
Well, that's how when I take the girlfriend to Hollywood and Toledo, I give her $5, right? Because that's all she wants. She's like, just give me $5. I give her $5. She finds a slot machine. 3 times in a row, she won $75 or more dollars on $5. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'll go sit.
Take them.
I'll go sit and lose 100 in 5 minutes, and I'm like, what is going on? So, like Bear said, just be careful with gambling. Know what you're doing. You can trust us. If you're going to trust any of us, trust Bear, because he's a guy. Ride his hot streak. Go with him.
Trust it now.
Yes.
If I go 3-8 this week, do not trust it, because I'll have 2 or 3 bad weeks in a row, and then once you go, oh, this dude's not good, I'm gonna go 12-0. It's
Right.
gonna happen.
And I could very well see it happening. So let's just get right into it. Number 1 Alabama at Mississippi, 20.5. There's that half. So 20.5 for they're favored by Mississippi. Starts the game off 20.5 to 0. Brandon.
All right. Well, you know me. I want to give you scores as well. So I want to give you the who covers and the score. So Alabama covers 34-10.
All right. Bear.
You said it was 20.5 or 20?
20.5, and Mississippi is at home.
Is Eli Manning there?
He may be in the crowd.
Archie.
Oh, of course. He's playing quarterback.
Yeah, 20.5. I'm going to take Alabama to win by 3 touchdowns or more.
And give me Alabama as well. Next game, Georgia Southern at Clemson, 33.5.
Clemson covers 48-3.
Bear.
Yeah, Clemson should. After the scare that they had this last week at Texas A&M, almost blowing the game, they should beat the crap out of Georgia Southern.
I wouldn't even call that a scare. I think Texas A&M is going to be good.
They're a good team.
That was a good football game.
Yep. And give me Clemson as
And
well.
I'm sorry, what was the line on that?
33.5.
33.5.
Yes. So Clemson as well. So far, we all agree. The next game, Middle Tennessee at number 3 Georgia, 31.5.
Georgia covers 45-10.
Bear.
Georgia blew the crap out of South Carolina away, which in a game I thought was going to be a little bit closer. 10, they covered 10 easily last week. I think 41-17 was the final. They blew the crap out of someone week 1. I think Brandon called that one to a T. What did you say the score was going to be?
45-0.
45-0. I think it was 45-0.
And what did you just say it was going to be for this week?
45-10.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be more than that probably. They'll probably put up a 50 burger on them, and I got Georgia easily here.
Same here. Next game, big one for Bear and I, Saturday Night Football. Number 4, Ohio State at number 15, TCU. TCU is a 13-point dog.
Okay, so I'll go first because I know you guys are Ohio State fans. This game is going to go either 2 ways. It's going to go either TCU wins close game by field goal or less. Or less. Or Ohio State is going to blow the doors right off of them. I said this was going to be Ohio State's first loss. I want to stick with that in week 3. TCU wins 34-31.
Okay. Go
Brandon, I respect your opinion highly, but you are so wrong. They're going to blow the doors off TCU this week. TCU was up 14-12 at halftime on SMU last week. They struggled week 1. Ohio State has blown out 2 very bad opponents. Don't get me wrong.
Before you keep going, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you just tell us what our backup, and I'm going to say our backup quarterback, Ohio State's backup quarterback, what did he do last week?
Tate Martell went 10 for 10 with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown.
And he led
last week.
He led the team in rushing.
Yeah.
I don't care if Rutgers is a Big Ten team. They're terrible. I knew Ohio State was going to blow the doors
first of
off
all, you know
That was the backup quarterback, too.
No, I understand. Yeah, Tate
They
Martell.
were 30 for
He's
33
good.
as
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
But this game, like I said, this game's going to go either 2 ways. It's not going to be Ohio State wins by a touchdown. It's going to be Ohio State either absolutely blows them out, or TCU keeps it close and wins by.
So when you say blow, give me, if Ohio State wins, what's the blowout score?
48-10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It will.
I mean, it'll be that. It's not going to be Ohio State wins by 10, wins by 7, wins by a field goal. It's going to be Ohio State either kills them or TCU wins by a field goal.
Okay. And Gary, I'm going to go before you because I know what's going to happen. I've seen this before. They've come into big games and they've laid eggs at certain times. This isn't Oklahoma. This isn't Texas from 10 years ago. This isn't USC from 15 years ago. This TCU team is they're not good.
No, I know.
Not good.
I know. I was listening to the Ohio State Thursday or Wednesday show with Paul Keels and Jim Lachey, and they were both. I know it's Ohio State, program, but they were both comparing this to Virginia Tech a couple of years ago. So
no, Virginia Tech had a great defense. TCU does not. And
they were talking about their defense. They weren't talking about their offense. They were talking about TCU comparing to Virginia Tech's defense. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
And Ryan Day, this is his last game as coach. He has something to prove here, and this would be a big statement win for him as well.
This is probably a big money game for him. If he does blow them out, even if he beats them no matter what, unfortunately, he'll probably be gone next year. He's going to get a head coaching job anywhere else in the country pretty much. So this
Maybe
is
Michigan.
No, he won't go to Michigan. This will be a big game for him, but I'm totally off of all that and everything else. We talked about this, down in the leadership training that we're down in Central Ohio, a lot of Buckeyes fans down there, and everyone was nervous. They're all talking about it. I said, guys, you don't need to be nervous. I said, Ohio State has 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks probably right now in college football. Any of these guys could start at any single team. They are better than Kelly Bryant. Maybe not quite over what's his name? Tagovailoa?
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
I can't believe he gets that name right.
I know, and I can't. Better than Jalen Hurts. I mean, who's the backup on that team? That's the only other team that has a quarterback situation like Ohio State does.
I can't.
They are. I'm telling you right now, Ohio State, 45-17, they're going to blow the doors off TCU. They have an absolute great track record in Dallas. They play good at AT&T Stadium, so they beat Oregon.
National championship, baby.
They've beat a lot of other teams there. Ohio State.
Is that where they're playing?
Yes, they're in Dallas.
Okay.
So granted, it is 20 miles from TCU. Ohio State fans travel pretty much as good as anyone in the entire college football. That is going to be 75% red. You will see at AT&T Stadium. They love Buckeyes fans in Dallas. We've been there, Gary. I've been there with Carter and R. Kelly. We know how they treat Buckeyes fans there. They love Buckeyes fans because Buckeyes fans spend a lot of money because they're always there. They travel well. It's just how it is. Ohio State's going to overwhelm them. TCU's defense, not that great. I'm telling you right now, just because you can smother SMU in the second half, only being up 14-12, sorry. Because you're going to watch this week with Michigan, they're going to struggle with SMU, and that's going to tell you a lot. They'll win, they're going to struggle.
What did you say the score was again?
45-17 Buckeyes.
Pretty close to what I was going to say. Of course, we could be absolutely wrong because that's why they play the game. But I was same thing. Ohio State. I had them 52-10. I think it's going to be that bad.
Yeah, I think that they're absolutely just they're gonna roll. But outside of Oklahoma, the Big 12 is bad.
It's a lot worse than we thought it would be. And speaking of
and so is the Big 10.
Right, and
outside of Ohio State and Wisconsin.
Right.
So.
And speaking of Oklahoma, they are next on the board. So Bear and I took Ohio State. So right now, Bear, you and I agree on the first 4 games, and Brandon, only the last one disagreed. So the next game is number 5 Oklahoma at Iowa State. Iowa State is a 17-point dog who just played like trash against Iowa, lost 13-3. So,
yeah, and they lost. They might be out without their starting quarterback. I forget his name, but Oklahoma just lost their starting running back, torn ACL, Rodney Anderson, I believe. Mm-hmm. Again, I have to stick with my prediction. I picked Iowa State to win this game.
You do not have to stick with your predictions.
You don't have to stick.
I know I don't
things change,
have to.
man. They lost their quarterback.
I know I don't have to, but I don't know. Just something. I have faith in Matt Campbell. I like what he's done there. 31-30, Iowa State.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care if Oklahoma lost all 3 running backs. They still got Kyler Murray. The kid's a beast. He can be a running back if he wants to be a running back.
Yeah, we'll see how good he actually is this week, I think.
I
think he's going to show them that he's the real deal.
I
know, but they played Florida Atlantic, and who did they play last week?
UCLA.
Yeah, even you agree. Chip Kelly's defense. Chip Kelly doesn't know how to play defense. So.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I mean,
Lane Kiffin
does
look tough.
Oh yeah.
What do you got, Bear?
Oklahoma landslide. I think that people, and I'm not saying like Brandon, but people are going to think that this is going to be a lot closer than it is. No thanks. Give me Oklahoma. 48-21.
Yeah, I was going to go Oklahoma as well, 42-17. Next game, BYU at number 6 Wisconsin, 22 points.
Wisconsin covers 38-7.
This is a tough one because Wisconsin has not covered yet this year.
They're 0-2 against the spread so far.
They are.
But they were both over 30 points. So, we could see what happens. They were both over 30 points. Right now it's 22. I'll go ahead and make my pick now. Number 6, Wisconsin. I think they cover. They haven't covered against the spread this year so far, 0-2. They've let me down both games. This is the week I think they do it. 22 is a lot more manageable than 35. Both weeks, it was, 35 and 35.5. So I think this week, right now, 22, give me Wisconsin.
Okay. BYU has beaten Arizona, who was actually my surprise team as well. Brandon, I think we both took them, so I'm not going to leave you hanging on that one.
Yeah.
Beat them by 5 at Arizona. Just lost at home to Cal by 3, who's a pretty good team. They're up and coming. At Wisconsin is going to be tough. They're going to get ran on. They have a decent defense, but if they stop Jonathan Taylor, they're going to be able to stop that. 22 is a low number. Do you guys both have Wisconsin, right?
Correct.
I guess I got to ride a hot streak, man. And my gut, and my head, and my heart, they're all saying BYU is going to cover, so probably closer than most people think. Give me BYU to lose by 7.
Okay. And I think they're going to win by 24 is what I got them at.
Little Lee Corso right there, closer than the experts think.
Right.
I do have my pencil.
There you go.
This, I think, this is going to be an interesting to see where we go with this. Number 12 LSU against and at number 7 Auburn, 9.5.
This I'm going to be flipping back and forth between this game and our next pick. LSU covers. Auburn wins 24-20.
In LSU, you said?
No, Auburn.
It's at Auburn.
Yep.
This could be a good game.
LSU's looked good this year, too. I don't know who they just played last week. Does anyone have that by chance?
Who played? I'm sorry.
LSU. Because they beat the crap out of someone, didn't
they? Beat Miami, and then they beat the crap out of some nobody, I think.
If Stat Guy was here, I don't know where the hell he's at, he would be able to tell us.
He's probably getting the Miller Lite that you just requested. So give me 9.5 is a big number for the way LSU's played. Joe Burrow's had a pretty decent go-around. Oh, is Auburn going to win by 10 at home? That's tough.
And they beat Southeast Louisiana 31-0.
Oh, 31-0.
That's it.
Is this Burrows a backup quarterback for Ohio State?
He was.
Yes.
He was. I mean, yeah, he was. Okay.
He would have been third string this year if he stayed at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's starting for a SEC school. Just remember that. You know what? Give me Auburn by 10 if I get 9.5 here. That's like I said. That's how I bet. That's how I want to bet. They're the better team. They're at home. If they were in LSU, this would go the other way. No doubt, I'd take LSU. Give me Auburn by 10 on the dot. 24-14.
Okay, and I also took Auburn to cover by 10-14. I have them winning by a touchdown, a field goal, or 2 touchdowns. So give me Auburn as well. Next game, we have Brandon's fun time. Vandy at number 8, Notre Dame, 14-point favorite.
Ooh.
Okay, so I was at the game last week. I know Notre Dame struggles usually in the Brian Kelly era in week 2 games. I saw he's like 5-4. In the years that he has lost, he's gone on to have a pretty good season. But this game was very sad to watch. But you said 14.5?
14.
Do not take Notre Dame to cover because this game is going to be, unfortunately for me, it's going to be close. Notre Dame is going to win 24-21. And I want to tell you right now, kind of get a little off topic. You guys were just talking about Bovada. I saw something today. For some reason, I have no idea. Notre Dame was a 20-1 shot to win the national championship. Bovada has upped Notre Dame 14-1. And like the top 6, it goes Notre Dame, Auburn, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama. So Bovada, Barry, you said you play Bovada. You know a lot more than I do. I don't even know what Bovada was until you started saying it.
They pretend to be a Las Vegas betting site, but it's definitely overseas.
Most likely.
They and everybody else below Notre Dame is very far behind. So apparently Bovada has faith in Notre Dame. I do not have faith in them to cover. They never cover. This game is going to be closer. It's not going to be 14 points.
They covered against Michigan. It was 1 point.
It was 1 point, but still. Notre Dame should blow out Vandy. They're not going to. 24-21, Notre Dame wins.
Bear?
We talked about this before we came on air. Brandon and I were talking, and I know that he was going to do that. And it made me want to go the opposite way because I like to do that. I did it last week on Ball State. I'm going to stick with Notre Dame. After the letdown last week, I think that Brian Kelly's going to get them, amped up, pissed off. They played Vandy last year, Brandon?
No, they have not played
Oh, they
Vandy
haven't
since
played them?
1996.
Oh, really? It's been that long?
I thought it was
Yeah,
just
22
like
years?
It was
I
a
thought it was
Thursday game.
I thought it was
feel
just
like
a
they
couple
played them
years
last year,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
Well, regardless, the case of, they just, pretty much got embarrassed by Ball State, only winning by 8, in all honesty.
Yeah, and again, I was at that game. I never thought that they were going to lose. I always thought, okay, they went up 7-0. They drove down the field 3 plays, scored a touchdown. Okay, this game's going to be a blowout. And then Ball State always found that play to keep them in the game. I never thought Notre Dame was going to lose. Now, they could have. They could have not got that onside kick, and Ball State could have drove down and scored and got the extra, 2-point conversion or whatever. But, yeah, that was a major letdown. So I'll let you finish, Bear, but Notre Dame will not cover this game.
I'm sorry, I'll ask you one more question because I thought I heard. Did you say that Ball State had the ball to go down and score the potential game-tying touchdown?
No, they
Never
scored. Did. They scored. They went for the onside kick, and Notre Dame got it.
Okay, so they did.
So they had a chance if
That
they would have got it, but
that might have changed my mind because that would have been 2 games in a row that they kind of did that. But it's not. I think that Notre Dame beats up on Vandy here. I think after the letdown last week, everyone's going to be thinking, oh, it's going to be a close game. Notre Dame's not going to cover. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I'm going on the opposite side of the spectrum here.
I hope you're right.
Give me Notre Dame 38-14 this week.
Oh my gosh, I hope you're right.
I have Notre Dame as well covering. I don't even whatever on the score, 35-10. Doesn't matter to me. UC Davis at number 9, Stanford, 22-point favorite for Stanford.
Bryce Love is not playing, hamstring injury. Not injury, they're just holding him off. I mean, it's a UC Davis. They don't need him to play. Stanford covers 52-0.
You don't think it'll be that much, but like 31-0.
Yeah, and give me 41-3 as well. Stanford, whatever. Number 10, Washington at Utah. Utah 6 points to start the game.
All right, I believe this is my Pac-12 preview championship game, so I said Washington was going to win. I'm going to stick with that. They win 24-17. What was the line?
6.
Yeah,
So they covered.
They covered by 1 point.
That was my exact score, Washington.
Yeah, sure, I'll go with that score too. Washington by 6, more than 6. So, Bear, if I'm going to catch you this week, I've got 1 game to do it.
Good thing there's another like 8 to 9 weeks left, so we'll be okay.
Right.
Plus bowl season.
But I didn't tell you guys this. I put in a bonus game.
I saw that. I got it down here.
Yes, you did. Oh, I forgot I had it in the agenda. Number 21, Miami at Toledo. Toledo, 10-point dog.
Yeah, I unfortunately I'm not going to this game or tailgating. I wish I was. The U coming into Toledo, it's gonna be hopefully a raucous crowd and everything, a good environment. I want to see, with Toledo being local, I want to see them stay in this game. I think it will. I think in the third quarter or fourth, Miami's going to pull away 41-21.
And, I have some faith in Toledo. I had a chance to go to this game. I was offered tickets, but Grayson has soccer and football this weekend, so I will not be going. And I'm going to take Toledo in the 10. That's going to be my one game. In the top 10, I took all top 10 teams when it came to the spread. I'm going to actually take Toledo on this one. After I saw them against Miami against LSU, I don't think they look good at all. Toledo's only played 1 game so far this
Miami's
year.
only played 1 game too.
And they've only played 1 game. They may come back pissed off. Who knows? But you know what? I have faith in Toledo. I'm going to stick with Toledo. I know they may get their asses handed to them, but give me them with the 10.
Being a semi-alumni of Toledo, obviously I always root for them. I'm going to root for them this weekend.
What do you mean? What do you mean semi-alumni?
Well, when you drop out, you're still technically an alumni-ish. I mean, you went there.
Oh, I thought you got your degree. Oh, God, this whole time I thought you had a degree there. Well, I am an alumni. No. That's where I got my bachelor's degree, master's from Michigan State. So, alum there.
I'm not an alumni. I'm
a
dropout alumni.
I am an alum from Toledo, but Brandon knows I was on BG's campus more than I was on Toledo. So, I'm just going to put that out there.
Go Falcons.
Shut up, Brandon.
Get out of here.
BG, roll along.
Shut up. So, anyways, last year I won a lot of money on this game. Toledo was like a 24-point underdog going into Miami. I took Toledo in the over on a big parlay, put big money down on it, hit it. If I know Cody, if he listens, we were at Sean's, I think, last year and watched this game, and I was the only person like watching, just yelling because I wanted the over. And I think Toledo was like a 24, 25-point dog. They ended up losing by like 17, but it was a high-scoring game. They kept them close. That's not going to happen this week. I mean, Toledo played VMI. They don't have Woodside. They have a decent running game, but their quarterback play isn't good. Their defense is not great. Like you said, even though they won 66-3, VMI is just trash. I'm pretty sure that Anthony Wayne could probably put up some decent points on them, maybe beat them. So I'm sorry I have to go against Toledo. I hope I'm wrong, just like Brandon hopes he's wrong, or hopes that he's wrong with his Notre Dame pick. I do hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see Toledo beat Miami in the Glass Bowl. Don't think it's going to happen. Give me Miami by 3 touchdowns.
And like I said, I'm going to stick with Toledo, and I'm not betting money on this, nor would I, because in this, I'm strictly in this game going with the heart and hope. Do I think they'll get blown out? Very, very possible. I think Miami is pissed off after LSU, but since this is for fun picks and I've got several more weeks to catch up, give me Toledo.
Yeah, you got plenty of weeks to catch up, so let's do it.
All right, so let's go right into NFL. Week 1 just was a shocking thing. We already talked a little bit about football. Our picks, all separate. Brandon was 7-9, Bear was 7-9, I was 8-8. And I think on our Pigskin Pickem, did we have 8 wins and we're middle of the pack?
Yes, so we have 8 wins. Not a clue. Layup Lynette is winning, so obviously she does have a clue.
Lynette does have a clue. I think she just faked us out. She just wants some of that OTL swag.
I think she does. That's amazing. 11 out of 16 is solid.
For that week?
For week 1 of this odd NFL. NFL week 1, 2 are always odd, it seems like. So
Is she the only one at 11?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, my gosh.
Cody is at 10. There is somebody else, V. Elise. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but VELISS, maybe V. Liss, I don't know, has 10 as well. So they're the top runners.
Good job.
We have 3 at 9. We have 5 people at 8, 2 people at 7, 2 people at 6, and R. Kelly hater at 1.
Who would that be?
Who do you think
Jason.
R. Kelly hater is? I yelled at Jason on Monday morning. I called him and asked him why he was not in our Pigskin Pick'em. He said he didn't understand the rules. I said, Jason, it was on Twitter. It was on Facebook. It was literally everywhere. You didn't even ask. All you had to do was ask me, and he didn't do that. So I made him get in, and he got 1 of 2 games right on Monday night because obviously he put in Monday. I told him he still has a chance, and he certainly still does. I mean, just because you missed all the games week 1, you still have...
How many does he have?
1 point.
Oh, okay. Because he just got in. Okay.
He still has 16 more weeks of NFL football, just
tons.
like everybody else does. There's a lot of a lot of football left. So don't freak out. As we go, we're excited to see. We do have 16 people, and that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And you can keep joining. This does not close. Keep joining. If we see we can track win percentages there, we'll keep an eye on win percentages, and those that are in it every week, we'll keep an eye on wins as well. So you guys stay in there. We're going to try to catch up. Remember that we are going, all 3 of us, we go with the majority pick. So let's get right into it. Thursday Night Football, Baltimore at Cincinnati. Brandon.
Baltimore.
Bear.
Yeah, it's after Cincinnati the way they looked. I gotta take Baltimore. I have to.
I also have Baltimore. Next game, Carolina at Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's got to come back and win. I mean, Carolina did not look great against Dallas, even though their defense has improved. I'm sorry, Atlanta. It'll be close. Maybe by Atlanta by 3.
Yeah, Atlanta. I think they just blew it again against the Eagles. I think they come back at home and get that win. So give me Atlanta as well. Next game, Chargers at Buffalo. Do we even have to go over this one?
This game, I think, is going. I'm going to give a score to this game because I think it's going to be that pitiful. I think Buffalo's defense gives up another 40 points. It's going to be 41-10.
I don't see that happening. San Diego, for some reason, plays bad on the East
LA.
Coast. Sorry, the Chargers. LA Chargers, you're correct.
There you go, Rich Eisen.
They play bad on the East Coast. For some reason, they can't travel. I don't know why. They never do. They'll win the game. It's not going to be pretty, though. I mean, they'll probably put up points. Buffalo will, too. I know Josh Allen's starting, but he's better than Nathan Peterman is. The Bills are at home. The Bills Mafia will be crazy and drunk by 2 a.m. on Saturday, probably, or
Agreed.
Friday. And jumping through tables and lighting crap on fire, and I'm excited to see all that on the internet. That's almost the best part of my Sunday mornings is seeing what the Buffalo fans are doing this week. But yeah, Chargers are going to beat them. I'm not even going to give a score. Chargers win.
Fire. Give me the Chargers as well. Next game, Minnesota at Green Bay.
Minnesota.
Bear.
Rodgers not 100%. Minnesota's defense looked pretty darn good against Garoppolo last week. Confused him a lot. It's a little bit different. Rodgers knows how to read defense better than Garoppolo does. But Minnesota, very close last-second field goal.
Give me Minnesota as well. And, I thought the Bears looked good. Rodgers just
For
came
30 minutes, they looked
For
good.
30 minutes, they look good. And that Khalil Mack trade looks gold after watching him play.
And I think he gassed out late in that game, not
Yep.
being, game flow ready. That first he was all amped up. He wanted to prove Gruden wrong. That's why he had a great first half. But he still had no preseason. You can work out all you want. Getting in an NFL game is completely different than any cardio you're ever going to do.
And I think that even showed with Ben Roethlisberger because he
Yes.
did not look good.
As a slim down, what did you call him? Medium Ben?
Yeah, medium Ben. He's not Big Ben anymore. He's medium Ben.
And with Mac, I don't know if you saw it at the end of the Raiders game. I went to bed. It was 13-10 Raiders. I'm like, oh, they're staying in. I wake up, it's 33-13. They got beat.
Yeah.
And then he says, we need to get pressure with our defensive line.
I don't know why
right
we
after
didn't
you
get pressure
traded
on our.
Mac.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't get pressure from our defensive line. I wonder why, John. Come on, man.
Right. Come on, man. All right.
on, man.
Houston at Tennessee.
Deshaun Watson said he's got to play better. I think he will. Give me Houston.
Yep, give me Houston.
Houston. Cleveland at New Orleans. Both Cleveland's still undefeated at 0-0-1, and New Orleans had a shock loss against Tampa with Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing 4 TDs. So home for New Orleans against an undefeated Cleveland Browns team. What do we got?
I guess that's nice to hear in week 2.
Yes. They're also winless.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be closer than you think, or than people think. Give me New Orleans.
Definitely closer than people think. This is the Browns' best starting record since 2004, which means they've lost the last 13-year openers. So you got to think about that. Just a little bit about the Browns. I was very happy that they tied. I really wanted to see them win. I think Steelers had 6 turnovers or 5 turnovers, whatever, on the road.
6.
Cleveland was +5 because they turned it over once.
Yes.
3 interceptions, 3 lost fumbles.
There was a lot of bad calls in that game. I think there was 26 penalties I saw at one point, and 23 of them were accepted. It's absolutely absurd. A terrible roughing the passer call on Roethlisberger.
Awful.
Absolutely bad.
Yeah, the NFL just came out yesterday and said that they made a bad call on that. And I agree, too. Me and my uncle got into this because of the whole Aaron Rodgers thing that happened last year with Minnesota driving him into the ground. I said that right there against Myles Garrett, Ben Roethlisberger hit. I think that was a clean hit. It was a nice hit. It should have been called, and it killed him because they scored a touchdown on the next play. So
Did you see the fun stat about what's happened when there's been a +5 turnover margin in games?
Yeah, I think
137 games,
4.
132 4-1.
Yeah.
The tie is obviously the Browns, and 2 of the 4 losses are the Browns.
Yep.
Yeah, and it shows. And like I said, back on it, penalties were atrocious. The everything was just bad in that game. It was disappointing to even watch. Cleveland, though, resilient, down 21-7, and I mean, the fans were out of it. Everybody was out of it.
They started leaving.
They did. It was right when they started leaving. Right there, it was like 10 minutes left in the fourth is when Roethlisberger threw that pick, or it was a sack fumble. I can't remember whatever it was, but I was, and Hot Friend is a big Browns fan, and we came home from Cleveland. We got home about halftime, and we watched the second half of that game, and it was like, okay, like they'll be fine. And then it was like, ugh, like I'm just trying to be, positive right now, watching them because I'm not a Brown. I root for the Browns, but I'm not a Browns fan. And watching, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your emotions, but watching her emotions as she goes through it and as they kept scoring, and she was up walking around like I am for a Cowboys game on this last second field goal after it's 21-21 after they make this great comeback, go to overtime, which shouldn't have been overtime, but the other thing is which wasn't anything that has to do with penalties in this whole game is that they couldn't stop TJ Watt. All they had to do was stop TJ. TJ Watt was getting through to Taylor. He was getting through on runs to Hyde. Hyde had some. I mean, if TJ Watt isn't there, Hyde's gone. If TJ Watt isn't there, Tyrod isn't getting sacked. And I know that sounds kind of stupid, but it's true. TJ Watt completely blew up that line on that field goal. He came in, obviously blew it up, blocked it. I mean, he had a monster game, and more power to him. Other than that, the rest of the Steelers' defense is garbage. They're gonna get shown up by Kansas City this week. It's gonna be a track meet, and we'll get there when we get there. But the Steelers are a little bit overrated. I think the Browns are going to be good. To end on all this, they're not winning this week. And I think that it will be close. Maybe they lose by 10 late. Tyrod throws a pick 6 as they're down by 3. So the box score won't look close, but it'll be closer than most people think.
And I have New Orleans as well.
Yeah, speaking of that game, I mean, it was a roller coaster. 21-7, I thought the game was over. I said, okay, they ran it for a little bit, 21-7. Then they came back 21-14, and then I think the Browns turned it over. And then, 2 plays later, that's when everybody started leaving. P.S. This is why you never – I don't care if the Browns still lost. This is why you never leave a game early. People were doing this on Saturday with Notre Dame and Ball State. Oh, Notre Dame got the ball. People are leaving. Don't leave a game when it's close or, when something happens. When that clock hits 0, then you can leave. That's just my thought. That's my opinion. I hate when people leave because they were showing the crowd everybody's leaving. And all of a sudden it's 21-21 and they're talking about people trying to get in. No, you left. You're done. Bye. See ya. Don't ever leave a game early. 21-21. I was texting you guys. I lost my voice going, when they were about to kick that game-winning field goal. It was raining. I knew it was going to be tough. It was like a 43-yard attempt. It was going to be tough. Going into overtime, I mean, the Browns had their chance. Then the Steelers had their chance. I mean, it was just going back and forth. But great football game. But, yeah, they don't carry that over to this week. Browns still lose.
All right. So we've agreed on every game so far. This may
We have.
this may change coming up. Miami at the Jets.
Who do I got? I have the Jets.
Bear.
Jets, Jets.
By the way, before you give your pick, and because you just said that, they were saying that at the Lions at Jets game, and it was freaking loud.
Oh, you mean when all the Lions fans left midway through the third?
Yeah, it was freaking loud when they were saying that.
And everyone hates on Fireman Ed. Don't know why. I think he's great. I love Fireman Ed.
The passion.
And
he was awesome.
He goes to every game. I love it. Good for him. Jets are going to beat Miami. Miami isn't that good. They played a Tennessee team, which, God, I don't even know how to look at them here going forward after that. But, yeah, they're going to beat up Miami at home.
Jets. Jets. Kansas City at Pittsburgh.
All right, who do I got here? I'm trying to find it. Okay, KC carries that momentum. Tyreek Hill, oh my gosh, what a game he had. Kareem Hunt, I think, Toledo guy, I think he's going to have a good game. Pittsburgh will lose this game. KC wins.
Rapey does play better at home. It's not like he plays that well like he's in an Atlanta bathroom, but it's close enough. He plays a lot better at home. Doesn't matter. Steelers don't have a great defense. The only reason why it looked any decent is because it was raining and it was windy on Sunday in Cleveland. Give me Kansas City.
Kansas City. Still agreeing.
This is scary.
Okay, maybe now we'll change. Philly at Tampa.
No,
this ain't gonna, I don't think it's going to change. I got Philly. Tampa, yeah, they played good. Ryan Fitzpatrick playing. Fitzpatrick playing in his 27th different team. I think he's like 52 years old. He had a great game last week. Does not this week. I think Philly's defense gives him troubles. Philly wins.
Yeah, Philly's got a top 5 defense. They're going to shut down Fitzpatrick. They're going to shut down Deshaun Jackson, who had no business going for 166 or whatever and 2 touchdowns. He is an old man. He will be hurt here in a couple weeks anyways. He always is. Probably another hamstring injury like usual. Yeah, Philly's going to beat him up.
Philly. Indy at Washington.
Sorry, Bear. I know you said this team was going to go 1-15. I do not think they're going to lose the next 15. Adrian Peterson, 96 yards on the ground, 70 yards reception. My gosh, I didn't think he was going to do that. Alex Smith looked good. Indy kept it close with Cincinnati. They blew it with that turnover late. I think it was a fumble for 6 or a pick 6 or something.
Speaking of which, we said Cincy was going to bomb this year, and they handled it pretty good.
Yeah, I picked them 5-11.
Though it was not anyone's fault except Jack Doyle. That is it. Indy was going to go down and win that game, and Doyle fumbled.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Luck was bringing him down. There was no doubt in my mind he was scoring that touchdown, and then I see Doyle going down and drop it, and I was like, oh, he was down, and then they show it from the other view. I was like, he wasn't even close.
Yeah,
that was bad.
I had Ebron in our fantasy for DraftKings, and
Yeah,
he scored for
it's
me.
looked
funny
good.
how he can catch when he goes to
Doesn't
a
play
different
for
team.
Detroit.
when he doesn't
So-
play for sidearm Stafford.
Yeah.
Overrated
So,
garbage. Yeah.
I don't know about that, but give me Washington.
All right, Bear.
And we break it. I'm taking Indy this week. I have Washington going 1-15. The only chance I have of them still going 1-15 is if Indy beats them this week. So give me the Colts. Plus, I think that Arizona is not as good as I thought they were going to be. So
They're not as good as we thought they were.
until they put Rosen in, I don't know. I kind of was. It was the same time Dallas was on, so it was hard to multitask and watch that game as well. Bradford looked bad, but I think it's that offensive line that just wasn't giving him anything. Anyways, we'll get there in a second. Give me Indy.
I guess I'm the tiebreaker. We're going Redskins, baby.
Okay.
Arizona at the Rams.
Come on.
Rams walk all over them.
Yeah, easy.
Rams. Detroit at San Francisco.
Well, I picked Detroit to go start off 2-0. They will not. They're going to get blown out in San Francisco bad.
Yeah, give me the Niners. I think Garoppolo at home is going to beat up this defense. He's going to look really good this week, and I know we're going to make picks here in a second, but he's probably going to be my DraftKings quarterback this week.
Who's that? Garoppolo?
Garoppolo.
All right, and also give me San Fran. And my son plays for the 49ers, so he had practice yesterday. He didn't play, so I said he is officially Colin Kaepernick. So
Do you know what team I play for?
yourself,
No. I mean a football team.
the 69ers.
There we go. I knew you'd get it.
Yes. All right, San Fran as well. Oakland at Denver.
Where do I got it? Denver wins.
Bear.
Where's it? In Denver?
Yes.
Yeah, give me the Broncos then.
Broncos here as well. New England at Jacksonville.
Blake plays better. Jacksonville wins.
Yeah, that defense is going to beat Brady up. I think that he's going to have a rough day. I don't care how quick Brady gets the ball out of his hands. It's not going to happen this week. It's not. Jalen Ramsey's going to have a couple picks. Defense is going to have a couple sacks. Jacksonville, 16-12. Ugh.
Give me New England. Sunday Night Football. Giants at Dallas. Brandon.
Sorry, it's hard to find it on here, but I got it. Give me the it's at home for Dallas. Give me Dallas.
Which at home, they're not really a home team. Just going to throw that out there.
What do you mean?
They don't play well at home.
They suck at home. Obviously, they suck on the road too.
Well, I still got Dallas.
I want to make this as short-winded as possible. The offense is absolute obliterated garbage, and it's not all their fault. The receivers just aren't great. They'll click eventually. Beasley looked good. Zeke looked good when he had the opportunity, but when they have 8-9 guys in the box and it's predictable as hell play call, everyone knows they're going to run. He can't. But when he did run and got free, watch out. He looks good.
Who scored the only touchdown last week?
Zeke,
Okay.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Dak ran in the 2-point, right?
Yep.
I was.
Okay. Dak did look inaccurate. He did have a couple guys that were open, so I can't blame it all on the wide receivers. But all my blame goes right to Scott Linehan. He is terrible. I can't stand him and Garrett. Honestly, I hope Dallas goes 1-15 or 2-14 because this is freaking ridiculous. Linehan is not creative. Terrible coach. Get rid of him. Get rid of Garrett because all he does is clap on the sideline and he's like a participation trophy guy. Oh, you guys all did a good job. We might think about getting a win next week. I am going to pick Dallas. I don't want to. I'm going to pick Dallas out of spite. They're a 3-point favorite for some reason. If I were you out there in listener land, take the Giants all day because they're probably going to end up beating them straight up.
So you're taking the Giants?
But I'm still taking Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Is Garrett married to Jerry Jones' daughter or something? What's keeping that? What's keeping
No,
that
because
going?
Jerry Jones is loyal and Garrett played for the Cowboys. He was a backup behind Aikman forever.
Because Jerry is the GM, Jerry is the owner, Jerry is God.
I remember when the Thanksgiving Day game, I think it was against Minnesota, where Garrett got the start.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, was it? Okay.
Yeah, Aikman had a concussion, shockingly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he beat Green Bay and beat Brett Favre. Yep, outdueled him 35-31.
I just didn't know if I was missing something.
And that's probably what Jerry still probably watches that, and that's why Jason Garrett's still a coach. I mean, shit, he's been there for 8 years. It feels like it's been 27,000 of just garbage 8-8 football.
It's been 8 years.
2010.
Yeah. Oh my
he
gosh,
took
are you
over
kidding
halfway
me?
through the year.
Fired Wade Phillips and brought in
Because he was the offensive coordinator at the time. Yeah.
All right, give me Dallas as well. Monday night, Seattle at Chicago.
I have Seattle rebounds. They win.
Give me the Bears.
The Bears. We're going the Bears as well. So I think this is, did this happen again? I think we only had 3 that we disagreed on. And so we went with Brandon and I one time, we went with you guys one time, and me and Bear one time.
Did we get all the games?
Yeah, we did. That's it.
No. Okay.
So should be interesting. We'll quickly cover DraftKings a little bit. And Brandon, you can be a part of this as well. Give us,
I'm going to give you, I got it all written down.
All right, quarterback. Who you got this week?
I got Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. Who do you have?
My quarterback, I said I'm going to take Garoppolo. Phillip Rivers is going to be your chalk, and I'm sorry I'm going to go into this a little bit more. I know we're trying to wrap this up a little bit, but yeah, Rivers is going to be the chalk this week. Everyone's going to want to pick him in Buffalo. I'm going to go a little bit under, go a little bit guy who's going to be a little bit cheaper. Give me Garoppolo. If you really want to get crazy and you really think Tom Brady's going to do good, pick him because no one's going to take him against the Jaguars on the road. He's probably going to be still too high owned. I mean, I shouldn't say that, sorry. He's going to be priced too high. We'll see what DraftKings does. I haven't looked at anything yet. But, I'm sticking with Garoppolo at home. I think he's going to have a good game against Detroit. And if Detroit can put up points, Garoppolo is just going to keep throwing the ball. So,
I had it in my DraftKings, Drew Brees. I'm going to stick with him, even though he's playing Cleveland. Give me Drew Brees.
Him and Rivers will be chalk this week, absolutely. Right, yeah. I mean, Brees had he'd throw for 433 last week and 3 touchdowns or something to pick. Brees and Rivers will be chalk. Anyone else you stay away from. Obviously, if you're going to do any cash lineups, start it with Brees or start it with Rivers. Rivers is going to be cheaper, but Brees will be your top guy this week probably.
Absolutely. Running back, Brandon?
I got the Cowboys offense, Elliott.
Zeke.
Running back this week, it's going to be a little bit tough for me. I do like Zeke. Fournette was putting together a decent game against New York before he got hurt. But I kind of also like the other end of the spectrum there with Saquon. I wouldn't be mad if you went Zeke and Saquon in a tournament. That would, obviously it's not going to be on the main slate because it's a late game. But if you put them together, it wouldn't be bad. Dak will be cheap if you want to put them, whatever, if you're playing a Sunday through Monday night sort of thing. So I'm gonna take Saquon on that side since you took Zeke.
And give me, because and I'm gonna stick with New Orleans. Give me Kamara because Cleveland just gave up 190 all-purpose yards to James Conner, the backup in Pittsburgh. And honestly, I don't know if you know this, he put up more all-purpose yards in Week 1, his first start, than Le'Veon Bell did in any game last year.
Yep.
Yeah. So. Give me Kamara. He's going to keep that hot streak going.
And once again, he'll be the chalk this week.
Yep.
But if you start off with Brees, Kamara, and can find lower end guys who are going to be good, you're making money this week. Guaranteed.
That is the hope.
And I know we're trying to make this quick, but I saw something. Rich Eisen on his show today was pushing hard for the Lions to trade for Le'Veon Bell. So that whole saga is going to go into Week 2. Losing another $800,000. I guess that's just chump change to him. So
pretty much.
When he's going to get 55 to 60 million somewhere guaranteed, it is chump change. He'll get his money.
Wide receiver now. We want to move on.
Yes, wide receiver.
Okay, I'm going to go on the other side of you guys. I'm going to go Jarvis Landry against that defense. That defense is going to play tough for New Orleans. They got good ball players on the secondary over there, but I think Jarvis Landry, they're going to get the ball to him. He averages like 8 catches a game. He's going to get a touchdown or 2. I think, Jarvis Landry. I was going between him and Josh Gordon, not just because I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, but I just think one of those two are going to have a great game.
Well, you got to think, Lattimore is going to shadow one of them. Probably going to be Gordon, depending on how much he plays. So you got to take that out. I'm going to stay away from all Cleveland this week. Might be great if they go into a blowout. It's very possible that could be a tournament-winning lineup. I think Jarvis will be better than Gordon. I do think Gordon will get covered by Lattimore, would be my guess. But if he doesn't play a full game, he won't. Will Lattimore go and shadow Jarvis when he's out? I don't know. We'll see. I'm sticking away from that. Wide receiver-wise, give me Keenan Allen. You're going to play with Phillip Rivers. You got to go Keenan Allen. The dude's probably going to catch 10 to 15 balls this week, and they don't care if they're blowing people out or not. They're still going to keep putting up points. So Keenan Allen's going to be my number 1 wide receiver this week.
I thought about him too, but I just didn't want to go all Chargers.
And I have Brees and Kamara in my lineup, so I'm not going to talk about my other guys because I did go low end guys, and I kind of like what you guys are talking about with Landry and Gordon. I think Gordon's going to play more this week. We saw that incredible catch he made for a touchdown this past week. But, excuse me, I am going to actually...
Is that a burp or a hiccup?
No, I was like almost choking. And so I'm going to go...
Losing breath.
Right, I'm losing breath over here. I was sick, just getting over that. Still kind of sounds stuffy, but...
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Give me Julio as a top guy. He's going to be your chalk as well. So give me Julio against Carolina at home. I mean, you can't go wrong with Julio.
Yeah, he had a monster game last game. 10 catches, 169
against
yards.
The Eagles defense.
Yeah, against the Eagles. So I was thinking him, Keenan Allen too, but like I said, I didn't want to go all Chargers. And I just don't want to go back-to-back Julio Jones, great game. So, but yeah, that's a good pick.
All right, tight end.
Tight
Last
end.
thing here.
Tight end. We're not picking a defense.
We'll pick a defense.
Okay, fine. We'll pick a defense.
Whoever's
playing Buffalo.
Brandon has it down, and that's exactly what he has. I'm looking at the sheet.
So tight end. I'm not being a homer here. I think Tyler Eifert. The Ravens' defense is tough. I think Tyler Eifert's going to have a good game here. Get maybe 7 catches. Maybe like. I don't know how they do fantasy points or everything. Give me. I think he's going to have like 7 catches, maybe over 100 yards, maybe a touchdown or 2, but. We'll see.
I don't see that, but hey, I'm not going to knock your pick. It'll probably happen. My tight end, I'm pairing up with Garoppolo. George Kittle just had a huge game. Should have had about 130 yards. He dropped about a 50-yard bomb right in his hands against Minnesota last week. Give me Kittle against the Lions. I think that he should eat them up this week. Also, though, some guy under the radar everybody's going to look over. He had a terrible week 1, but Minnesota gives up a lot of stuff to the tight end. Jimmy Graham this week. He will be very low owned. Very low owned. Don't sleep on Jim. I wouldn't play Rodgers, but play Jimmy Graham.
I'm not going to go with in my lineup, even though I like who I have in my lineup as a low ball guy. Give me Jordan Reed, Washington against Indianapolis.
Yeah,
okay.
That's. I mean, until he's not healthy, you can pick Jordan Reed every week.
Right. So, Brandon, your defense.
Yeah, this is why I said I didn't want to go all Chargers. Josh Allen's getting his first start. We all know how quarterbacks do, except for Sam Darnold. Last Monday. Josh Allen's going to struggle against this defense. This is not an elite defense, but they're going to rough him up. Give me LA Chargers defense.
I'm going to give you the absolute chalk of the chalk defense. Just like the Chargers, Chargers will probably be one chalk. Chalk number 2, LA Rams. They besides the first drive of the game where Marshawn ran it right down their throats, other than that, they looked phenomenal. They're playing Arizona, home opener, and Arizona just, lost, 24-6 to Washington?
Yeah.
It looked like crap. I don't care if they have David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. Their offensive line is trash. The Rams are going to just Sue and Donald are going to eat them up.
So you guys have the LA Rams, LA Chargers. Give me the Lakers, whatever.
They probably won't play defense this year, but
no. I could go with either one of them. So, go ahead. Rams are playing Arizona. Give me the Rams. All right, so done with football for the week. Good luck to everybody playing in Pigskin Pickem. Remember to get on there, ESPN, sign up. Find us Over the Line, one word, Sports Podcast or Pod?
Nope, just Sports Pod.
Okay, Sports Pod.
Facebook is Over the Line Sports Podcast, and Twitter is at OTL Sports Pod.
At OTL Sports Pod. And if you want your over the line merchandise, remember All Wear Clothing can get you your your over the line sports podcast merchandise. We are going to have that shortly, so if you are interested in anything or anything for yourself, check them out. They just did a company order for us as well. He has done it in the past for us. They do great stuff. When I used to have a business in the town I live in, he also did the stuff for us there. Does amazing work. Check him out at allwearclothing.com. Also, don't forget to get your leaves picked up. Call Crandall's Quality Lawn Care, 419-704-5471.
I love it. Best time of the year.
Yes. Pumpkin spice. That is.
Oh, yeah. I just got some
Hey,
yesterday.
did you see that I think that Frosted Flakes came out with pumpkin spice Frosted Flakes? I hope you check that out.
Yeah, they go. See, everybody goes overboard on, like with pumpkin spice. You can only put it in some stuff, like pumpkin spice bread or, like pumpkin bread or whatever. Cookies.
Like a pumpkin roll?
Yeah, like definitely coffee. I mean, oh my gosh, it's awesome. It's like the highlight of my morning.
Why don't you go hang out with Andy and his stupid pumpkin spice takes, too?
It was awesome. Did you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I commented on it.
So did I. They got to go overboard on some stuff, but yeah,
I know this is our problem. We try to keep this under. We were trying to keep it under the 2 hours and 15 minutes we float around. We're almost at an hour and 40, and we've still got 3 more things to go. before we sign off here, and we're going to record our second episode for the week on Saturday. We'll have it out Saturday, so good luck to everybody. It'll all be wrestling. Just a reminder, Lynette, you don't have to listen to it, but check it out because you'll learn fun stuff about wrestling.
Hot friend, you still do have to listen to it. I don't care how much you hate wrestling. You will listen to it.
You better make her.
Yes.
I will.
And
I'm gonna make her. I'm gonna make her watch wrestling. We talk about this all the time. She made me watch The Bachelor. Oh, it's gonna happen. Wrestling will happen. She thinks she keeps getting away with it, but
You should have watched SmackDown yesterday.
Right.
Well, I was out of town. How was I supposed to do that?
Turn it on the TV.
Well, it was good. Maurice, 5
I was
months
at
after
Buffalo
giving her
Wild
kid-
Wings.
Maurice
Remember
looked
you
good.
yelled at me?
Yeah, where's my Buffalo Wild
Four
Wings?
beers and wings, man. 4 beer. I'm standing on the treadmill. Brandon's telling me because I walk uphill because it's a lot harder to
Yeah,
walk.
5 miles an hour. That's a freaking sprint for me. I go to the gym. I put it on 2.8.
No,
When was the last time you ran?
Bush 2 administration.
So, hey, by the way, what are you at this week?
I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you. Maybe on the next show, maybe the wrestling show.
What about all those Swedish fish you just ate?
I don't know. I probably gained like freaking 0.6 or something.
You pounded those things.
Yes,
They were delicious.
He's pounding something. So the next thing is Justin on the Twitter gave us a good question this week. Who are the top players that should come out of retirement to play in the Alliance of American Football that starts after the NFL season? And what unsigned free agents or the retired players that they get would be MVP? So didn't have too much time to think about this. Brandon, you got any players?
I didn't, but of course, T.O.
I had T.O. as well. He could come out and do some damage.
Yeah, I saw.
I mean, obviously, that's the first person I thought of when
Same
you
here.
put that. I mean, T.O., he's a beast. That's easy. Let's go to the next one because everyone knows T.O. Yeah, he's a freak of nature. He still runs a 4.540 at 40 years
I
old.
would love
or
to see
whatever.
44.
I wanna give
He'll
you
be
another
40.
guy.
He'll be 45 by the time the season starts.
I saw a video recently of this guy, and he's been retired a long time, and he played a long time.
Barry Sanders.
No, Jerry Rice.
Really?
I saw a video. Of
You
him.
think he would come
can
out?
Still, I don't think he'll come out, but he can still move, and so yeah, I mean that would be fun.
Do you think Johnny Football shows up in the American or the Alliance of American Football?
Absolutely.
No thanks. He can barely cut it in the Canadian League. What do you throw? 3 interceptions in the first quarter of a game or
You don't
something?
have
They
to,
run
you
that
don't
a
have to
little
cut it in that
differently,
league. He'll still get a tryout. He'll still get.
I mean,
maybe even the XFL.
Give
in 2
me,
years.
and you know what? This is for fun. Give me JT Barrett. I think he goes there. He would be all right. I mean, he's not your standard quarterback.
He's not
but-
really retired either. That was the question.
Well,
Was
he
retired,
said
wasn't it?
retired, but what unsigned free agents?
Oh,
would
he
be
did
the
say that
MVP?
too?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't like that because the way I thought about it
Is retired?
Is retired, and I thought of a quarterback that would love to make a comeback and would probably love to throw to T.O., and I'm sure you don't know who I'm thinking of right now,
Tony
but
Romo.
it's very easy. Incorrect. He's way too good in the booth to ever go back into the field. But I'm going to say it, and you guys are going to be like, oh, duh.
Peyton.
He only retired and unretired and retired and unretired and unretired and
Brett
unretired. Brett Favre. Brett frickin' Favre would be awesome in this league. I'd love to see Brett Favre, especially if he's throwing to T.O.
That would be awesome
Those
to see.
commercials are. I mean, he can still throw the ball.
And you know what? You know who I want as running back? Guy who blew out his knee, who could have been decent. Most ugly
McGahee?
Ugly knee injury ever, Willis McGahee. Yeah, give me
Willis
Willis McGahee.
McGahee.
I don't know if he can even run anymore, but I was just sitting there thinking of
He still
the
had
way.
a great career though with Buffalo and.
Well, and I was just
the
thinking of
Ravens.
the way we did, our DraftKings lineup, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a quarterback. So I'm sitting there thinking on the drive over. I go, oh, Brett, that would be great. I go, wide receiver, oh, T.O., easy. Tight end, Tony Gonzalez, all day. My favorite tight end of all time. Dude is a monster. Best tight end probably ever. People say Antonio Gates. Sorry, don't think so. Give me Tony Gonzalez. And he's going in the Hall of Fame next year, or should be. Yeah, he should be a first ballot,
Next
undoubtedly.
year?
Absolutely.
No, like 2 years. He's
I think it's
eligible.
next year. I think he's eligible this upcoming year here in
He
August.
just retired.
No, he didn't. He's been on CBS for like 5 years. It's 5 years out of the league, and it's been about 4.
Gosh.
He wasn't in the Super Bowl with Atlanta. You got to remember that. That was
Yeah, I know.
2 years ago, and he was out the year before that.
Yeah.
It's got to be close. 2019 or 2020, like I said, it's an upcoming class. Anyways, I couldn't think of a running back. I was sitting there. I was like, Barry's probably too old to do it anymore. I was like, McGahee's still got to be like 35.
Stat guy got back to us actually
He's here?
pretty quick. Yes, he is here.
He must be hiding in the trash
He sent a
can.
quick text. Actually, Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez are eligible in 2019.
Thank you. I know my,
You want-
my favorite tight end of all time.
I'll give you another you. Give me Clinton Portis.
Okay.
I was going to say LaDainian Tomlinson. Why not?
And
Yeah,
my quarterback,
absolutely.
I'm gonna-
LaDainian's a beast. You know who
You-
else? I mean, honestly, another good one would be MG Day or MGD, Maurice Jones-Drew.
I thought you were going to say
Day.
MGK. He's coming. He's going to come rapping.
Not if
and he's
Eminem
gonna
kills
play.
him first.
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna give
Did
you. I'm gonna give you a straight homer quarterback. Brady Quinn.
Shut up, Brandon. Shut up. Okay,
Get
we're
outta
done. Next. God, that was
So,
bad.
speaking of, I do want to cover this real quick with MGK and Eminem. Did you by chance see Eminem Part 1, his interview with Sway?
No.
He
I've
came
not.
back and said, I'm going to have to come after this MFer for, coming with his song, his Eminem diss, which, by the way, came out 3 days after Eminem's album dropped. So in 3 days, he put out a music video and a song going back against what Eminem had to say about him. And MGK, it is a great song. If you haven't heard it, Rap Devil, check it out on Spotify, iTunes. It was the #1 song on iTunes. He came there, and Eminem called it in his album, in the song Not Alike, or in his first song on that, it's Not Alike. But he did say that if somebody can come at me, they'll make millions. And just him going back at people, it's just whatever. And he's right. MGK is about to make a lot of money, and he already is with this Rap Devil. So to go into the next thing, this is going to wrap up our show today. We had best sports moment for us and the worst sports moment. So let's start sad.
Yes, so I want to end on a good note. I was
Yes.
hoping you'd say that, so start sad.
Start sad. Brandon, what was your worst sports moment?
I have two, and I'll make it quick. Notre Dame USC 2005. Charlie Weiss's first year, they were 4-1 going to that game. College game day was there. US, shut up.
Bush.
Illegal. Should've got
He would be
called for
good
that.
too, wouldn't he?
Bush.
Is he he's not playing anymore, is he?
Liner and Bush.
No, that'd be.
No, Bush
have him
is
come
on-
back in the
he's
American
on the
Alliance for
NFL
American
Network.
Football. They can still come back. It'll
I
be
know.
done
I
at the
know.
end of the season.
Give me Tim Tebow then.
He'll be playing for the Mets.
2005, that game, I watched that whole game. I cried at the end. It was bull crap at the end of that game. Yeah, that was one of my worst, just because of the hype. I mean, USC they're coming off back-to-back, I think, national championships. The hype was, I mean, College game day was there, like I just said. The hype was so, like, they were talking about Notre Dame being back. I've heard that 20,000 times. Back and forth. Notre Dame was up by like 14. Game ended up being 34-31 with the stupid illegal Bush push. They even said that was illegal. You cannot push. Now you can. You can push somebody in the end zone like that. But back then, in 2005, you could not push your guy like that into the end zone. So that should have got called. My second one, I think you guys kind of know all this.
Steve Bartman.
There you go. 2003, I was at my dad's
I was
watching
going
this
to say
game.
Dale Earnhardt dying,
And no, well, you said I
So we
couldn't.
can't do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you said
that's
you can't
right.
do that.
But I did, as you
And-
can see, wear the shirt for you, Brandon.
Yeah. So, oh my, that game, it still haunts me. It still, and this is when
They won a World Series.
it
Shut
doesn't
up.
matter. It doesn't matter. Back in 2003, I just bought my Sammy Sosa jersey earlier that year.
You just said it still haunts you.
The one you
does.
wore on episode 1?
Yes,
How does that still fit?
exactly.
I don't know
I
what
bought
that
that
means.
at Cooperstown in 2003 in July. Sammy Sosa left the team 4 months later. Game 6, they were up, fly ball, and I'm not putting this on Bartman. Anybody would do this. Everybody still does it.
I wouldn't have.
Yes, you would have. You would not.
If I was a Cubs fan, and
No, you
no.
can't say.
I would've-
No, you can't
okay,
say that.
time out.
I guarantee you.
Not
I
that you
wouldn't.
probably would have
Time
reached
out.
over. You wouldn't have been that guy.
Time out.
No, hold on. Let me
Stop.
finish. You wouldn't have been that guy that stood up. Hey, back away, putting your arms out, blocking it. You would not have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You
I wouldn't
cannot
have
say-
went for it.
You couldn't. Have,
Wrong.
No.
Wrong. Let me finish. I would have because Moises Alou used to pee on his hands, and that's disgusting. So that's exactly why I would have stayed away from it. Oh, here comes Moises. Everyone back up. You don't want to get his piss hands.
So and.
By the way, that's a fact. Anyone can go ahead and look that
I
up.
did not know that, but
Because it said that's why he never wore batting gloves. It hardened his hands up. Dead serious. I read that. It was the most disgusting thing ever.
yeah, that's pretty nasty. But yeah, that's yeah, it was terrible.
It's okay.
You said it's the worst. It was the worst
I'm
moment
about to
because
cry again.
they did. They scored like 5 runs that inning. Right after that happened, the momentum was gone. It was just like freaking Bill Buckner Game 6. They had another chance to win in Game 7 the next day. They blew it in Game 7. Marlins went on and win the World Series against the Yankees. And yeah, so those are my 2 worst.
Well, I just want to say that Back to the Future came out in 1985, predicted the Cubs would win in 2015. They were only off by a year. You got to give it to them.
They were.
And they didn't beat Miami, but they still won. And that was what, Cleveland? And they're down 3-1.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. That is not my worst sports moment. I was just happy to see Cleveland there. My worst sports moment ever, which actually literally I still have dreams about this, and I'm not exaggerating. I literally have a dream every other year about this.
Can we guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you got, Brandon? What do you think his worst sports moment is? If you had to take a guess.
I'm going to say...
I would pick Gary to guess it over you.
That would actually be really tough for me.
Is it baseball? I was going to say 97 when they lost to the Marlins.
I was 6 years old, man.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't
You
remember
still have
that.
passion. I remember watching Notre Dame games when I was 5.
Well, I mean, I remember I've watched highlights and I remember that, but everyone who hated Jose Mesa.
What sport is it?
I'm not. Why would I tell you? Because then you're going to get it.
It's probably football.
It's definitely football.
And it's probably Dallas.
Football's what I care about most, and it definitely is Dallas.
And would it be the game against Seattle?
Okay, so and I'm going to tell you why that still haunts me to this day, and I still have nightmares about this. I was a freshman in high school. I think this was 06. Freshman in high school, coming back off of break, and you guys know how I am. Nothing changed when I was 14 years old in high school. I still ran my mouth a lot. I love the Cowboys. I always will, and I'm always going to back up my team no matter what. They had a pretty decent year. They made the wild card that year with Romo. It was his second year, maybe, I think. Maybe no. It was his first year. No, he came in halfway through that year when Bledsoe got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was his first year. Brought him there. I was like, oh, man, this is great. Undrafted free agent, everything, whatever. Get there. I remember this vividly to this day. We were having Christmas at my grandparents' house, and we were in the basement watching this game. And I'll never forget my grandfather going, as they go out, it's 4th and goal on the 2. As they go out, why would you kick a field goal here? That's the stupidest thing ever. It's a 21-yard field goal. This is ridiculous. Easy money. He's going to make it all day. Romo drops the ball. Grammatica misses the block. Everything. Romo gets... he was... Not only that, Grammatica makes that block. Romo scores.
That's what I was just about to say.
Romo
he just
scores
had
and
to
wins
get
the
that,
game.
Just get that push.
And Grammatica is 5'2", like 104 pounds maybe, soaking wet. Maybe with pads on and a helmet. That hurt. I'm not over-exaggerating. I still have dreams about that to this day. I got ridiculed in school for the next week after we came back. All that, I remember, and you can probably ask my dad if you ever see it. I'm pretty sure I didn't talk that whole ride home. I don't know if I talked for another day or so. It was a Saturday night. I couldn't have been more angry. There was so much rage built up on that, and that one is my worst. Well, it probably will always be my worst. Like I said, Cleveland blew a 3-1 lead to the Cubs, but I was happy they were even there. I wasn't, man. You know what? I like the Cubs. I will root for the Cubs. I was happy to see them break the curse. That one doesn't hurt me. It is what it is. But Romo dropping that ball that year, that still stings to this day. It's carried on with him forever, and it's unfortunate because he's never going to make the Hall, even though he should. He's a great quarterback. If he plays on probably 15 of any other teams, he wins a Super Bowl. Guaranteed.
Well, that does haunt me too. That's definitely not my worst sports moment. I was actually at a Wendy's with my dad, and we caught the end of that game, and we saw it, and we're like, you have got to be kidding me. And that was it. And I wasn't – it didn't haunt me too much because I was just used to the Cowboys not doing much. But it was sad.
Yeah, but that was the first time they were, good again.
Yes.
We went through the Quincy Cart, and I just said we. Went through the – and I
of
meant –
all people.
Bear, it's okay. You can say we.
I meant that as Cowboys fans, not as a team. We had to deal with Quincy Carter, going through that era, and Vinny Testaverde at 40 years old, and then Drew Bledsoe at 38. It sucked. We finally get a good quarterback in there, that played, and he was great, and that happened, and it was like, oh shit.
Absolutely. I think mine is pretty easy to figure out, so I'll let you go at it. Pretty easy guess.
2004.
I was gonna say which Yankees meltdown.
Definitely 2004.
I figured they saw
because
Boston.
I was a senior in high school, 2004. Yankees up 3-0 against the Red Sox. First time in history that a team blows a 3-0 lead and ends up not going to the World Series. And the Red Sox, of course, won the World Series that year, I believe, against the Cardinals. Is that correct?
Yeah, in a sweep. Yeah.
In a sweep, yes. And so they won 8 games in a row. 9 if you keep counting more games. But just, it was unbelievable. I remember sitting on my bed just in game 6. Just like if they blow this is not going to be good. In Game 7, they got destroyed in
they
Game
got
7.
creamed in Game 7. And that was in New York, wasn't it?
Yes.
And Trot Nixon hit a grand slam.
Johnny Damon hit a grand slam.
Johnny Damon did. I think Trot Nixon hit a home run, too, at some point there. Maybe that was Game 6.
It was so bad.
They jumped up like 8-1 in the first inning.
I remember just sitting
nasty.
there watching it, and even though they were getting crushed, just watching the last out is when it really sinks in that it's over. And I remember just having my left leg up, holding onto it with my hands, just like, you've got to be kidding me. And I think that is the first time I legitimately almost wanted to cry, and I was a senior because I knew going to school the next day was not going to be pretty, and it was not. Of all people, I know Brandon gave me a lot of shit that time when the Yankees lost. I knew so many people would. Everybody knew I was a Yankees fan. At the time, I did have a Yankees tattoo, and that was my first tattoo. I've had it covered up since, but not because I don't like the Yankees. I love the Yankees, but with what I have now, I have 2 half sleeves, so it just doesn't make sense. And it just absolutely destroyed my heart. I can't do anything about it. But, thankfully the Yankees won later on, so I was happy. They got their World Series later on, 4 years later, or 5 years later. But definitely the worst sports moment by far. Nothing I don't think in my life will ever top that unless Dallas, of all teams that I love.
Unless Dallas pulls in Atlanta against the Patriots.
Yes, yeah. and Dallas, of all sports, I think the team that I struggle with the most now in my life is Dallas because they should be there and they're just never are. And it's so frustrating. Ohio State can drive me nuts many times. The Yankees, of course. The Penguins, they don't really drive me nuts because they've been so dominant. It's just tough. And the Celtics, that was a tough one. When they won the championship and then lost the Lakers, that wasn't that bad for me because they had already won one. So I was okay. So let's end this on a good note. Brandon, what is your happy moment?
Just to go back, honorable mention for worst. 2003 Pistons and Pacers brawl, just for the city of Detroit.
That's like the best.
No, just for this. I'm a Pistons fan, so just for the city of Detroit and what happened on that day, terrible. It was terrible.
I figured you were going to say Notre Dame versus Alabama in the national championship that you still haven't
No,
watched.
I still have not because I did work that day. So, all right, so
Best.
we're going to best. Mine, surprisingly, not much of a transition from what Gary was just saying. I could have gone, anytime the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup, anytime Jeff Gordon, when Jeff Gordon won the Daytona 500, or anytime Notre Dame won. I mean, that's my best moment. But I'm going to go.
Hit the wall.
No. My best moment, as just for sports in general, was Boston over the Yankees 2004 in Game 4 when David Roberts stole first and got that steal. Big Papi hit a home run to win that game, and then they just took off from there. I mean, that right there, I know I gave you crap.
He stole first?
Stole second, whatever. And he made it he just made it. And
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry.
Now. I did not think that would be your best.
It was my best because I remember watching that game and I was like, it was like freaking midnight when that happened.
I know you weren't the first person to give me shit. It was Kenny.
No, I wasn't.
It was Kenny.
I did give you crap for it.
The one who's a Michigan, Carolina, New England, Detroit, Cleveland, whatever fan he wants to be of the week.
Whoever won the title last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's specifically that's my favorite moment. Like I said, I kind of wanted to steer away from Notre Dame or the Red Wings or the Pistons when they won it in 2004, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go Boston Game 4.
I hate you. Bear?
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's an absolute great sporting moment, and I love it because, the Yankees are trash, and I never want to see them win, but that's probably not even in my top 10. Mine is about winning championships, and I have a 1A and a 1B, and I'm going to give you the 1B first. The 1B is going to be 2003 National Championship game, 2002 season, when Ohio State beat Miami. Probably one of the greatest college football games ever. They had no chance of being in that game. Miami was like a 14, 17-point favorite, something going into that. One of the largest ever in national championship history. I remember watching with my uncle and his friend at their house. I mean, I was 11 years old, 12 years old at the time. That was the first one of my teams I've ever seen win a championship. You always remember your first, no matter what it is. We can go over a million of things. You always remember your first. That was the first time I saw one of my teams I enjoy, or I like, winning a championship. And then the way it happened was amazing. Krenzel obviously throwing to Michael Jenkins. You had the Chris Gamble. Is it a pass interference? Is it not? Which it was. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And then obviously I still remember the last play of the game just so much with Dorsey, on the all-out blitz, the jailbreak, and I don't even remember who the defensive coordinator was at the time. I'd have to look that up and see. I don't even know if Tressel called the plays at that time, but 4th and goal on the 2 all-out blitz. I mean, the jailbreak, it was absolutely amazing. Dorsey getting thrown down, getting batted down, greatest sports moment of my life. Obviously, they won again in 2015. It's still awesome to see. It's always awesome to see your team win a championship, but they already won one that I saw. I like seeing teams win. So my 1A, I'm not even gonna have you guys guess because this is the greatest sporting moment of my life.
Cleveland.
It was the only time I cried in a sporting event, which I will admit, and it was tears of joy. I wouldn't be like Brandon and cry when my team loses or Dale Earnhardt dies like a baby.
Sorry, I care.
Yeah, so do I. The Cavs winning a title, that was amazing. Down 3-1 against Golden State. Just didn't think it was going to happen. Coming back in Game 5 where they won, it's like, okay, whatever. Golden State, take them back. Blew the crap out of them in Cleveland in Game 6. Come back Game 7 was an amazing game. That Kyrie crossover with 46 seconds to go on Steph and just drilled it was like, holy shit, is this really going to happen? Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm kneeling right now, like, praying to the gods. Like, no way. They go down, get the stop, all of that. Amazing. Ripped my shirt, my favorite Budweiser shirt. Absolutely love that shirt. Ripped it in half. Straight.
I was wondering why I haven't seen you wear that in so long.
Straight Hulk Hogan, that shirt. I should have framed it. I mean, that was probably the best strength feat of my life, to be dead honest with you. I mean, I straight ripped that shirt just off. It was great. Cried that night. That was absolutely amazing. I love seeing that, and I know they've been to the championship game the year before and the year after that. So that was amazing. I never thought I'd ever see Cleveland win a championship at any point. I'm a big Indians fan. Like I said, it was disappointing that they didn't beat the Cubs, but it was nice to see the Cubs win. That didn't hurt me. Cleveland losing the first time against Golden State didn't hurt me because Kyrie was hurt. So when they came back fully healthy and beat Golden State, I knew they could do it. And then the year after, they already won a championship. At that point,
yeah,
I just, it was, I've already seen it. It's okay. It happened. And that was the greatest moment of my life. Even better, as we go up to this, is that I won the LeBron block on Iguodala in Game 7 in a Ronald McDonald charity, actually. So that was really cool. McDonald, and this was, I think I literally just got it like last week, so I can't wait to go hang that up. Signed by LeBron, picture of him blocking him. Pretty freaking sweet, but that is my favorite sports memory of all time.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. I was actually rooting for Cleveland. As you know, I'm a LeBron fan. It's gonna be hard watching him wearing the yellow and purple, but
I'm gonna root for him.
Yeah, I remember that game. I don't mind the Cavs when LeBron was there. I hate the Indians, but I love the Browns. So I was happy for Cleveland. I knew you were happy. I knew you were, so excited. But
I know you hate to see, just like we all do. I know we're all kind of dicks in a way and hate to see our other friends happy. No one ever wants to see our other friends happy.
Yeah,
but like when the Cubs did, I think I congratulated you. Like, I wanted the Indians to win, but watching the Cubs, it's awesome. I have family in Chicago. They were Cubs fans. I root for them on the NL side, but against Cleveland, I wouldn't. Just like the Browns. I root for the Browns, but if they play Dallas, I'm rooting for Dallas no matter what. It's just how it is. It's my team. That's who I'm going to root for. I like seeing that. I love seeing the Cubs. I hope Notre Dame never wins a national championship ever, so screw Notre Dame.
Sorry. It's going to happen.
I won't be happy if they do.
I don't care.
So
I will not care.
I have a couple of best sports moments, and it'll be interesting to see if you guys get this. One is a personal sports moment, because those are also great, and then I also have our teams like we've been talking about.
Oh, we get a personal sports moment?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I made a hole-in-one, so that's mine.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I threw a touchdown in a flag football game, so.
Really? You had 3 sacks in college, 2 sacks, and that's your moment is a flag football game where you threw a touchdown?
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I did, man. That is my favorite.
You were literally the only person who's played, what was it, D2?
D3.
D3 ball. So you played, it doesn't matter, you played college ball, and you got sacks, and yours was throwing a touchdown in a flag football game. That was your first thing you thought of?
To this guy that's sitting right across from me.
Yes. You know what mine is?
I did catch that ball.
You getting your tooth knocked out. I wasn't even there.
Brandon 1 for 1 in flag football with a touchdown over here.
I retired after that.
Mine, well, I wasn't going to go with that, like personal achievements. If it was personal achievements, it would be two home runs in a baseball game, or 5 goals in a soccer game, or 5 touchdowns in a flag football game. It doesn't matter. But So with that, it was 2011 for personal when we finally, 6 years, won a flag football championship in the Cedar Creek Football League against a team that hadn't lost in 2 years. And remember, we were playing against Marcus, who was on the other team. And then we scored a touchdown.
That was the game that I threw the touchdown, wasn't it?
No, that was a different game. We were blowing somebody out.
Yeah.
And no, that was the championship game. That was the first time because you were there, Kenny was there, I was there. We were all ecstatic because we finally won a flag football championship. And then I think we won 4 more in the next 2 years. So it wasn't a big deal.
I retired a champion. So
Yes, you did. So can you guys guess of sports teams what my favorite sports moment is? I don't think you can.
The Pittsburgh beating the Red Wings in
No,
2009.
he's not a big hockey fan. If I had to take a guess, I mean, you're not like hockey. If you pick from the top 4 sports, it would be football, baseball, basketball, hockey. If I had to take a guess,
In the playoff time?
No, I just mean in general.
Oh, in
Just-
general. I was talking playoffs. No, it's usually not. But
I would guess that it would be the Celtics in 08.
it was
That's what I
Brandon
was
is correct. It is 2009. Penguins winning
Really?
the cup.
Okay.
It was when it comes to playoffs, the thing I get craziest
Playoffs?
about. The thing I get craziest
Hope
about.
we win a game.
The thing I get craziest about is playoff hockey. More than football, more than anything is playoff hockey. I get insane with it because I expect the Penguins to win every year. Granted, they've won 3 titles since this time, and I've been happy. This past year, I wasn't as angry because I'm like, I didn't think they would three-peat. It was so hard to win back-to-back, the fact that they could three-peat. So when it was Ovechkin that beat them and going to play Vegas, I was happy with whoever won the cup at that point. Vegas is a great story. Ovechkin winning the cup, I'm very happy for Ovechkin. He deserves it. He is up there with Sid. I know I'm a homer to Sid, but Ovi is, you're probably right, Bear. I'm going to say it that Ovi is the better player in the NHL, so I will agree with you. But yes, it was definitely the Penguins and mainly because the year before they lost the cup, and all of our friends are Detroit Red Wings fans, and it was just a shitty moment to be at Brandon's house watching that happen. I hate you both. And but yes, definitely the Penguins winning. Yes, the Celtics, that was up there too. But what would top it for me? I do remember Dallas winning the Super Bowl in '95. I was at the time 8.
We were 9, yeah.
8 or 9, and I do remember that watching it with my dad. Not 92, 93, I don't remember as much. But
I remember the Leon let Don Bibby play.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
yes, is that Mike Bibby's dad?
BB, not Bibby.
Yeah, Bibi, that's right. So definitely that. And so let's wrap this up.
Side note, you can no longer drink out of the Stanley Cup.
Really
Just found that out.
As of like this last one,
Yeah.
because Ovi probably just
Going
drank
a little too hard.
I think they all did. Yeah, that's it. Just to hold up on hockey. I know we're gonna end this right now. Zelensky's in the championship game tonight, so
Are you serious?
yeah. Hopefully they do win tonight. That's the only time I'll root for them. Other than that,
Do they
suck
hoist
it.
a cup?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'm sure he'll send 68 Snapchats. So
It'll probably be like a paper mache cup with with those little Dixie cups on top.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in the SASHL. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Busch Light flowing tonight, or he'll be at the Power Hour at the distillery. One of the two.
What's that league called again?
The SASHL.
So is it SASHL? So
It's like the
SASH.
Sylvania Athletics Senior Hockey League or something like that.
I thought you were going to say the San Antonio Sylvania Hockey League.
When he's on here in about a month, we'll ask him
No,
what
it's
that
only
is.
actually a couple weeks.
Is
It's
it?
gonna be
When does
on
hockey start?
October 4th.
That's when it starts?
Yes, that's when you go to the game.
Oh, crap. That's right. It is when we go to the game.
So
So he's going to have to be on the
Senior.
3rd?
the 3rd or 4th, yeah.
Damn.
Speaking
So
of
yeah, we're
senior,
recording.
The 4th is Thursday.
No, we're recording Tuesday that week because
Okay,
I'm
so
out of
the-
town. I'll be in
so the
Florida.
second.
I'll be Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina that week.
Line?
No, Florida, Georgia,
I
and
just
South
don't know if
Carolina.
you'll be on the Florida,
but
Georgia line.
I'll be there for country. doing
Hopefully
some
South
shows.
Carolina's
Yeah,
still
but-
there after Florence.
Yeah,
hits 'em.
yeah, no kidding. They canceled a lot of games this week.
Speaking of senior, you remember the first time we went out to go play flag football over at Northwood, and there was this guy that was like
87
hopefully
years
he's
old.
still alive. Not to speak ill of the,
Not to speak
Dead.
ill of the dead.
but I mean, this guy was out here. He was wearing a helmet. I mean, and everything. It was like a hockey helmet. It wasn't even a football helmet. It was like a hockey helmet. And this guy was like 74 years old out here making plays and hitting people, and I was like, oh my gosh.
But I will tell you the sport. I've played all sports. I played football, baseball, basketball, all of these things, and the sport I've been injured the most in is flag football. I stopped playing last year. I broke my shoulder in a one-day tournament. I've broken my nose twice in flag football. I've split open my eye in flag football. I've pulled a groin. I've done several things, and I stopped playing after that tournament last year, and I played in one other game in October, and we're talking about potentially getting a team together in a 30 and over league, maybe, just for like a one-off.
I can't play.
Yeah, you could.
I'm 27 though.
We can get you out there. It's fine.
I know how you feel. I've got a couple concussions. Broke my nose twice. I got the stenosis now, so I cannot play. I was told I can't.
Oh, really? You can't play at all?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Will you come coach?
I could maybe coach.
You can coach me. I'll pretend to be 30.
There we go.
There you go.
Then again, I did just run around the house twice with your kid Gary, and got gassed immediately. So I'm gonna have to do some cardio.
Yes, you might have to. I told you, man, just get in that. I know Brandon has DDP yoga. I told him I could drop him down to 260. I truly believe that. I could get you down, or did I say 270? I don't know what I told you.
No,
I think 260. I could get you down. Yeah, it was 260. I could get you down to 260 by the end of November if you worked out with me and ate properly. Because
that's the problem. I love food.
Dude, well, so do I. But you just have to eat the right food.
And gummy bears.
Yeah, but we could
like this Master Chef that's on the TV right now with no volume is really distracting.
Oh my
the hell out of me.
goodness.
Food.
All right.
So anyway, again, thank you all for listening to episode 9 this week. We really appreciate it. Episode 10 will drop at you on Saturday. All wrestling.
All wrestling.
All wrestling all the time, guys. And thank you again for listening. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
I think I'm gonna get to 260.
Shoe-Flay.